still have randos drop in. And
I was going to say, I'm not sure
it's recording,
the overlap
guys.
is huge for like...
It's live.
I'm just saying that
Okay.
You guys can, don't worry, I mean, it's like we're just starting right now. I want to...
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, that'll probably be the one.
Can somebody make sure that it's actually coming up in the video?
I don't
an
see
ad.
anything yet.
An ad just came up.
Okay. Looks like it's coming up for me.
live stream. If you came here to get a shout out,
And yes,
here's
it
your
is
shout
working, and I
out.
can see what
Now
you're
be
doing.
quiet.
Hey, everyone. Hold on here. Still trying to figure out when people start rolling in. We'll be doing like the official start. It probably maybe, I don't know. Let me make a note about that. True launch.
Okay, this is like Inception watching you right now.
In about, what is this? Oh, that's right. We have notes. Oh no, we didn't do any of the things on the notes. Oh.
No, I didn't bring my microphone.
We did some of them though.
Oh, we can still do some of these.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll do that after I
I can
do
commit more. Okay, got it.
Howdy from New Zealand.
Hello, Bruce. Hi, everyone.
What's up, New
There
Zealand?
used to be a bat outside
Howdy,
of my
folks.
house that I named Bruce because it was a bat, like Batman.
You could have named it Bruce Wings.
I just wanted one syllable.
Yeah.
Maybe two. It got to Brucey at one point.
Oh, man. You know, when I do them in the evening, it's so convenient for so few people. It's 2 p.m. in Tasmania. How convenient is that?
Tasmania.
I think most of the complaints you're getting are from Europe, though.
Yeah, sorry, Europeans. I'm going to try to start doing it earlier. It just doesn't work. Hey, everybody, how are the levels? Like, is this good? If I yell into the mic real loud, is that, like, painful? When John speaks? John, speak. John, speak.
Speak!
At full volume, it's like, it's a bit much, but it seems
But what about
alright.
you?
Huh?
Can people hear you?
Let me see. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yes, it's painful. Don't
Okay,
yell.
I guess I just have to learn how
Yeah,
not
okay.
to yell.
Chat's saying yelling clips, so...
Okay,
maybe
so just don't yell. But can you guys hear John when he starts talking?
Yes, they can hear me.
Okay.
So don't Charles too much, Charles.
Okay, I guess I should probably turn it down just a hair.
Just a bit.
Oh, remember this has to stay under 5 hours, otherwise
Yep.
We're now officially
It
at
has to what?
Stay under 5 hours, otherwise it'll go off.
That's right. And it's not just 5. Yeah, it is
Including
5.
like,
I was using.
yeah.
What?
I'm going to try to make this like 3 or something. It should be a little bit shorter. I really want to make shorter streams.
Yeah, I would appreciate if this
Sophie
doesn't
also
run
says
that
more
long.
Git comments. I don't know if that's something you can
Commits.
work on.
Commits.
Commits. Oh.
Yeah, I gotta actually commit the code more to. Also, we don't have Adam here today, so we don't have like the awesome computer thing going on. So I hope that this doesn't like overload my my poor little laptop here. Oh no, I just closed it.
I forgot you don't have a desktop.
Nope, not yet. I actually just purchased all of the parts for a desktop today.
Oh.
Slow shipping. I'm gonna take my time.
Everyone who
I love building desktops. It's
I'm
fun.
going to re-enter the world of desktop users. I'm gonna still keep my laptop, but this it is painfully slow to edit
love this
1080p
thing.
video.
This thing's been great.
What do you have? Oh, the Windows book. You should probably just come over here too.
It's comfy.
Bruce Jackson asks, when
The
we are
chase
going to
does
start.
suck
I
you
assume
in.
just like a couple minutes.
Oh, does it not show on screen? It should show on screen. True
Well,
launch.
we're live now, so...
No, I know.
That's like when we're going to start doing things.
We'll start doing things at. Okay. That's actually more like 10 minutes from now. The sawn off? No, although I do have a new ESP8266 gadget that I will be presenting later on this coming week. Actually, I can sort of tell you what it is. It's an ESP8266 with an IMU and a bunch of other stuff all kind of crammed into it. The biggest feature of it is that it has a lithium-ion battery charger, like at the same time as having the circuit for USB. So you can just like plug it into micro USB while it's operating, and it charges its battery, and then you unplug it and it keeps working. So Have you got cursors? Do you guys see my cursor today? There is a cursor on the screen. I hope you see it. It's right
I
here.
have no idea what I did.
Can you see my cursor, Miles?
Yep, it's there.
Okay, good, good. Oh, hey, wow, that's weird. It's like twiddling around.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. I guess we'll let this thing go for a second here. Let's shrink this window. Okay, and keep that up. Let's get...
Let me go
What?
spam this out to all of my people.
Yeah, I do have to use a really low-res preview on my laptop, otherwise it just gets out of hand. What's a Wemos? I've never heard of that. I've seen it on Twitter, but I never actually looked into what it was. Good, it's up to date.
Aught, the unit E sign is actually something that we put together for IAPA. That was Adam, Charles, you did the wiring, right? And then we made that in the shop. Super awesome.
Yeah, we for Unity, if you guys know anybody who wants a sign like that, it is Wi-Fi controllable. So like I can take my cell phone here and connect up to it. Just wrong mode. I can take my cell phone,
Make it too Fiesta
and
mode.
if I connect into it, it automatically connects with my cell phone. As you can, you can't really see clearly yet. It does have an ESP8266 in it, which is, I guess, what else would you expect? So if I visit 192.168.4.1,
Nice
right
for
there, it loads the
entire addressing scheme for the house.
little web page for it, the control. So I can go under LEDs, and you can see that it's showing the effect that's going on right now. And special thanks to ConFuse. I don't really know how to pronounce his name, but he put a lot of work into this to making it a really nice interface. So LED patterns say, I think it was 14 was the good one recently. And 6. So just by using the phone, I can go click the button, and it changes the patterns. So this is totally a product. If you guys want to get custom signs made, we totally do it.
Sort of can.
Oh yeah, no, the ESP gadget that I'm doing doesn't really have anything to do with that. Packer. Is that how you pronounce your name? Packer? Pacer? Packer? Pack?
Packard Bell.
Okay.
Throwback.
Let's see. How many people do we have in this? 42?
It's a good number.
Yes.
Nice round number.
That seems like a nice number to start with. 43. I don't know who you are, 43rd person, but we were waiting for you. Packer. Got it. Okay, I guess I said 15 minutes, 10 minutes. That's only 7 minutes away. Sure, let's just keep on chilling. Are things going well with you, Mindy? Do you have an idea where you're going with this?
I'll say something whenever I'm getting to a good point.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just trying to set up everything to try to communicate in math terms instead of Facebook text.
Okay. Because I totally do not, I barely speak math, so.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried I'm going to show this to you and you're just going to be like, math things. But I'm breaking it down. Like, that's normally how I do math, is I break it down into small parts. So
That's about how I feel about it. I could look at code and be fine, but I look at math and I go, oh.
Yeah, what's
Where's
that?
the Common Core for scientists?
What?
I said, where is the Common Core for
What do
scientists?
you mean the common core?
Common Core
Teach
math.
us math.
Redundant, I will get into what I'm doing tonight
I just
The way
can't
at
get started.
10:15.
How to like divide and
10:15.
whatever.
Common Core, probably the dumbest thing.
Guys, on topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new way to teach math. So I was just saying, where's the new math for, for the people that already know how to multiply?
I don't even multiply. I only used the
It's
integers.
okay. I don't need a sawn off.
Hopefully I can do this.
I have
I think soon
I have enough.
it's your own too, though.
Okay, I'm blind. LOL.
What?
I don't know. Somebody named Redundant HD says, "Hey, I'm blind." Hi, blind. I'm Thomas. Let's see if I can get all this up.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, you know what? We should probably be charging these for every moment we can. Good.
Sorry, I found you to be target.
It's so strange to see you here and then here, doing different things.
Oh yes, I can do two things at once if those things are slightly offset by a few seconds.
3:10 in the morning in the UK, and this other person says they are Christmas drunk in Ireland.
Hi, Christmas drunk.
Wicked 33.
Let's plug this in. Just plugging in the Vive right now. This day will be the day that I have the least preparation before the live stream to do the live stream. So it's going to be pretty much by the seat of all of our pants.
Apparently Christmas drunk is different from regular drunk.
Huh. Okay.
Memory Neos, it's about 5 seconds, I'd say.
Neos? Oh,
I think it's a little
pain?
more than that.
Yeah, probably a little bit. I was timing it by what Charles was saying.
Oh,
Oh, there's
okay.
a lot more whiskey involved in Christmas drunk.
Okay. Let's also keep on topic. And we do have the YouTube community guidelines, so it's 3 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Sort of 2 minutes to go. What time? 2 minutes and 30 seconds. What is the global today? Well, no, it's not just the Ben coding decoder. It's a couple things. This is going to be, I guess, kind of recapping what work's being done right now. And, you know what? You guys can wait one more minute to hear what it's about. Well, a minute and a half to hear what it's about. Hi, Cheese. I don't know who you are. About 1 minute.
Ben is in the chat. He thanks you for the caramel corn.
Oh, hi, Ben. I'm sorry. What?
You sent him caramel?
Adam, so for those of you who, oh gosh, I don't have the picture. I'm going to have to go off stream for just a second.
Oh, Ben, I don't believe Adam has a Twitter, does he?
No, Adam does not have a Twitter.
Yes.
Just making sure you guys couldn't see anything, could you? For that bit, it was just like a black screen, I'm guessing. Okay, good, good.
Correct. Just a black screen. Oh,
Oh yeah,
responded.
you responded.
I
to
need
me.
to mute this other one. I'm going to be talking to two different Charleses in two different points in time.
Just so you guys know, it's black when I switch back to my personal account on my laptop. I do everything else from this account. When I say my personal account, what I'm actually doing is just logging into a hardware terminal, or VT terminal, which I guess is by definition a virtual terminal. But, wait, VT terminal, virtual terminal. Oh, it's like ATM machine. Okay. Okay. I think it's time to get started. Okay, everyone, thanks for coming out to the 5th live stream now. It's actually the 3rd in the 2nd group where we try to find the locations of the lighthouses, I think. There may be some other ways to come about this, but right now I'm kind of heading down the whole find the lighthouses. But before we even get there, there's just been a ton of problems that we've been running into, just like one after another, mostly due to the fact that I'm terrible at coding, which makes me wonder what I'm good at. But at any rate, so we're going to have to today figure out a little bit more about what's going on with the Watchmen, a little bit more about how to do some of the disambiguation of the light timing signals, and I don't know, maybe I'll be able to get a chance to show you guys a little bit more about what we talked about in the... Actually, you know what? That's a much better place to start. Let's actually start going through the issues right now. So some of the issues, by the way, I encourage everybody to join along, check out a copy of libsurvive. If you have a Vive, fire it up on your Vive, and if you have problems with that, patch it, do a push request, and I'll handle it. That is, if it works. Make sure your code works before you do the pull request. So some of the things, the issue from the last time, determining the location of the lighthouses is now up to 97 comments from just about everybody, and this was from the live stream event that we did. I guess it was 2 weeks ago at my parents' cabin. So a bunch of people visualized where the points were, realized we got the normals wrong. Some amazing things happened where Ben was able to get HTC to send me my config files so I could unbrick the Vive. And we started to really dig in. A bunch of different techniques were kind of brought up, the perspective NP, like the PNP problems, and I don't remember the name, Posit, I think it was. Posit was the name of the technique. Just various techniques that people had talked about to do what it seems like we're trying to do. But one of the really big things is that the problem with the Vive is different from that. And Alan Yates, the guy, I guess we should call him the godfather of Lighthouse technology now. Actually, by the way, Ben, if you can reply in chat and tell me if Yates is actually Dr. Yates, because somebody said Dr. Yates in one of the things, and I'm really curious if I should be calling him Dr. Yates. At any rate, they pointed out that he pointed out that all of this mess that has to be done with like POSIT and the PNP problem. Let me see if I can find the OpenCV ePNP paper. I think this is it. No, that's not it. I can't find it. Point is, there's all these really complicated techniques to figure out where cameras are based on like 3D representations of the environment. And it's really complicated because of such a mess that there is with all this distortion and everything else that exists with cameras. And people try telling me that that's the future of VR, and that's just completely bogus because that's just totally impossible to calibrate to anywhere close to the scale that Lighthouse technology can be calibrated to. So that was brought up a lot, but for the most part, I think that we're kind of shying away from some of these already existing solutions and really trying to forge forward with our own. You know, for better or for worse, if you out there, I'm talking to you, anybody who knows how to code at all, want to take a crack at this problem or this part of the problem, I do have all of the files available under Common Data for Project. So if you want to go give something a shot and try to like pitch in and see if you can figure some of this stuff out, I do have the CSVs that were recorded from the real systems. So that's all right there. At any rate, so determining the location of the lighthouses, a ton of fun stuff. Wow, computer's having a hard time here. A bunch of fun stuff happened. VK Tuesday. Let's see if I can find his post. Oh, something else we forgot about. Hackaday finally posted Alan Yates's talk. If I can find it here, where Alan Yates actually went into the. By the way, is it Dr. Yates? Did Ben respond in chat?
Yes. Ben said you should totally call him Dr. Yates, and then someone else had responded that his LinkedIn does not mention doctor, so...
Okay.
I think you should call him Dr. VK Tuesday.
No, it's okay. He's Dr. Yates now. I've renamed
Dr. A.
Dr. Dr. Alan VK Tuesday Yates is now just Dr. Yates. So Dr. Yates totally explained in his, and I wish I could, I guess it's a little bit older, we're closing in on it. He totally went into a lot of details about the hardware and software problems that surrounded the creation of the Vive and why it was not trivial, which I would not have expected. To me, it looked stupid easy. But he points out that I'm obviously not the smartest one in the room when he started busting out the whole points about the fluid dynamic fluid dynamic something motors. I'm like, okay, got it. This is way outside of something I'm going to be doing in my basement. At any rate, if you guys do want to go see a really awesome talk about how the lighthouses work, totally check out the Hackaday article. You know what? I think I might just post this in the README here. Extra resources. Hackaday article and video with Dr. Yates on how they made the Vive a thing. Okay, moving on.
Wants to paste that in the chat as well.
Oh, okay. Actually, you know what? One thing we had a note on is that I do need to do more Git pushing, and I'm going to really make an effort for that this time. And I will also paste this into the chat. Hey Charles, I tried the OpenCV algorithms and I found out the data was very noisy. With some light filtering, I was able to get the pose fairly precisely. Octavio, if you want and you're up for it, please pitch in here. Start trying to pitch in. Specifically, finding the lighthouses. We can get away with something other than the MIT license for what my end goal needs to be, though I would really like it if we could just keep everything C and everything minimal requirements. I know with the OpenCV stuff, you kind of have to pull in OpenCV, and that's kind of a big deal. So going back to all of this, let me go clear this out. So Alan Yates kind of hopped in, and he pointed out that the volumetric plots that we were plotting out last time didn't really make a lot of sense to him as to why the data would look the way it did. And I totally get that, but I think that to me it made a lot of sense because we'll go into how my approach is working soon, but he pointed out that it was a little bit strange, and that's one of the things we're going to try today is to try to view that data in a different way or analyze it in a different way that might be a little bit friendlier to finding the centroid, the most likely location of the lighthouse. Okay. Trying to think of anything else. Just that right now my plan forward is by we got to go figure out what's going on with the exact pulses and why some of the stuff isn't lining up the way I thought. I think some of it has to do with the disambiguator being rough. My disambiguator is not very good. So if you think you can figure out how to disambiguate the signals, the pulses of light and what they mean, better than I can, which you probably can, go in there, give that a shot. I have an example of some of the code that I did use. It's a little bit different now, but it's almost the same if you look in the GitHub repo. And I collected a bunch of data, and we uncovered a bug, one so far, which I'm sure there's more with the Ben decoding. So that was kind of fun. Let's see. I'm just kind of rambling right now. Is there any direction anybody in chat has or questions?
There have been a couple basic questions that have been trying to summarize just the general goal of what's going on here about trying to reverse engineer the way that the Vive communicates position data.
No direction or anything yet.
Okay. I don't think I want to spend 5 minutes explaining how the Vive works in this live cast. I think I've done that about every other time, so I am going to avoid that this time. So I do appreciate that you guys are kind of chatting back and forth in chat so we can keep things rolling.
Do you have something they can reference to figure it out for themselves?
It's probably best to do the first video.
I'll link to
the summary video.
First summary video.
The summary video, yeah. I am going to try to get a summary video edited, but I unfortunately do have another quasi-commercial ESPD266 project I need to go make a video for and need to get out the door like ASAP because the parts are literally just waiting to go out the door. Need to make the video. I'm sure later on in the broadcast I'll explain that too, which at the time I was not thinking about the Vive, but now that they might be able to work together. So I'm trying to think of anything else that really happened that was that cool. I mean, just the big three basic three basic bugs. The first bug being check Ben coding. So the Ben coding is still, something's not right with it in my code. I'm not interpreting something correctly. I don't know what it is, but we're probably going to have to go scope that out some. That can be done kind of in parallel with this other stuff. One of the other things has to do with improving the disambiguator. And that's the thing that can kind of tell me, based on these flashes of light, where is this photodiode based on this lighthouse's sweeps? So that's got to have to, and by where it is, I don't mean where it is, I mean where it is in 2D space. So like if I were to shoot a ray out from the lighthouse, where would that go through? What point would that go through? And that's what the disambiguator is needed for. And finally, really doing one of two things. One, finding lighthouse positions, or finding another way altogether, or something. Because what we need for phase 3, so we're still in phase 2 of this project, which is annoying. I thought we'd be moving, but it's harder than I thought. Just like everything else I've ever tried, it's just always more difficult than I could hope. Phase 2 is where we find the lighthouses. Phase 3 is where we can track a point and a pose. And phase 4 is where we use an ESP8266. And if you guys have been paying attention to the GitHub things, I am really tempted to just jump straight there. So I have actually done a fair bit of computer vision stuff before. This is a picture from a project from a while ago where I was just tracking using cameras, really
Charles,
inexpensive
real quick,
cameras.
I can't post in the chat. Can you give me like mod permissions to
Oh,
post URLs?
okay, got it. Can you say something so I can get your name to mod it?
Yeah. Can't do anything either.
Okay, say something in chat and I'll mod you.
I just did.
No, to him. Set user as moderator. Set user as moderator. So it's not that I haven't ever done any kind of tracking systems before, and I have dealt with them. I've dealt with commercial ones, and I've kind of rolled my own. Never had to do anything really precise though, except for my thesis had to be really precise, but that was a different problem altogether. So it was much easier to accomplish like millimeter level, tracking, but it was totally different solution. Very easy to do. No, like I'm toying with just creating a pose, like a what are those things called where you have like a axes and this thing in the center?
T-pose?
Like, like in 3D modeling, how you have like a thing that has the X, Y, and Z.
Oh, like a gizmo.
Coordinates.
Yeah, just a display of the axes. I don't know what the
there's
correct
special
term is for it.
Cartesian.
No.
But it's like the thing, the physical. Whatever.
Coordinate system? 3D coordinate
Well, it is. It's the thing that gives you which way is X, Y, and Z, and it's like a
that-
unit size.
One request from the chat. Can you have the chat window on the side so that you can see it? Because it doesn't get archived with the stream. So.
Oh, okay.
Is there a way to work
Oh,
Yeah,
I know
by
why.
putting it in
No,
the video.
they want to make it so that anybody who's watching it later can
Yes,
watch the.
Exactly.
Yeah, they
I will
won't be
set
able
it to
see
always on top. Okay, and I will scale this so that works. Okay. Good.
Coordinate frame is it?
Oh yeah, coordinate frame. That's the right word. I'm just toying with using a coordinate frame in 3D space, plopping it on the floor in the middle, having 1 meter between each one of the stupid axes, and then having the lighthouses figure out where those are, and then we can just straight up resolve position, and we get to have a neat little coordinate frame that defines our universe. I'm toying with it, but it's not necessarily gonna happen. I mean, after all, it is kind of skipping phases 2 and 3 altogether to kind of use 4 to go back to 2. And I have no idea how hard it's going to be to use the ESP8266 as a detector in this sort of situation. So I really kind of want to go through in order, but maybe not. Anything else that came up in chat that I should be addressing right now?
Nothing so far.
Okay. So going forward, some of my plans on this one. So from last time, voxel-tastic.
Why don't you guys have a calculator?
Yes, I do actually.
So I was using voxel-tastic to go visualize some
Grab this.
some 3D models of what it looked like the lighthouse data was. Ooh, that did not work. RGBA 32. Is it 64?
The bag has all. I keep like everything in there.
Yeah.
I think that's
Is
it.
there one person that needed a calculator?
Yeah, there we go. So I was using voxel-tastic to
School
view
exams, you know.
what the the shells looked like. What these shells are the likelihood of a lighthouse being in any one of these locations. And as you can see, that it was a little bit rough. So it didn't really work that well. I did try though, and we're still going to keep going. But right now, this is being viewed in kind of Cartesian space, and I want to try to move it into polar space. And I think it's going to like really kind of bound itself into a centroid a lot better that way. One of the other things to note is that Alan Yates was a little bit concerned over the fact that these look like shells rather than kind of blobs. So I don't really know what to make of that right now, but we're totally going to look into that. So we can totally just visualize the different possibilities of the lighthouse. Oops, not that. Totally visualize the different possibilities. So like this is, I guess, the R lighthouse where it's like, yeah, the lighthouse is totally in there.
Locations jeopardized by the rotated normals.
What?
Did we fix the problem with the normals before doing that?
Doing what?
The visualization. Because remember, you were having an issue with the headset normals being tilted in.
I don't remember that. I know that there was a problem somebody had with it, but then I don't believe there's any problem now.
Did we check that before we did the data?
It's tilted in.
Yeah, the normals weren't actually facing out like they should be. They were all focused like straight down.
With what scope? The normals on the headset itself,
Yeah.
or? Oh. I don't think so. I mean, let me check. The one guy did do the OpenSCAD thing. So those normals are all hokey. Those are all hokey. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. This person visualized the normals in OpenSCAD and it looks just fine. Merry Hackmas, everyone. Anyway.
Yeah, that one down the bottom, that does look good.
Yeah, that does look correct, so. Put in timeout. Oh, that was good. Anyway, moving on. So the visualization is kind of a point cloud saying these are all of the possible places the headset could be, how likely it is that it's at any of them. I can make it so the visualization is a little more. So you can see that for at least some amounts of data, it converges really nicely. Like, you know, the lighthouse has got to be in there. So some of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to use the normals of which way it's pointed. So
Remember the stickies?
I will not touch the stickies.
Okay, now I can.
I mean, it's okay if you do. Just remember
So-
the blocking sensors.
Each one of these sensors here on the headset, it has a normal associated with it. And when I first looked at them, like, why in the world did they do that? Like that's just effort. I don't know. I never go into a situation assuming that I'm the dumbest person in the room, but I will always be quick to realize that as best as I can. But at any rate, so I was looking at it like, why would they put normals in with this data? That seems completely useless. But it turns out it's really useful, at least in one way that I'm already using. So because there's a normal associated with this, it tells you which way it's pointed. So if all of a sudden there's a lighthouse up there behind the camera, and if I hold it like this, then yeah, that sensor can totally see that lighthouse. But if I hold it like that and it's pointed at that lighthouse over there, I'm not going to see it. So really quick, we can just immediately cut out that is a possibility of where this lighthouse is because this photo sensor here is getting data from it. So you can know real quick what to cut out. But one of the other things that Dr. Yates has pointed out through a lot of this is that the normal itself and the angle and the distance from the lighthouse will control the length of the pulse. Now, I'm hoping we collect some data on that this time to try to get an idea as to how much the distance affects the pulse and how much the orientation affects the pulse. But I'm thinking we can use that to help narrow down the picture. So though the data might look like this right now, or I mean, I guess it's a little bit worse if you look at the other one. Let's look at our lighthouse. If you look at this, man, it just does not know where that other lighthouse is. I'm thinking that by using the normal data and having it like the rotation controlled that way, you could do a much better job at kind of narrowing this down. I don't know that that's true, but I think that that's true. The other thing I wanted to try was to put the Watchman controllers farther out. Like, so have this sitting in the center of the room, this being the coordinate frame, and having the Watchman controllers. Can you use that back? Having the Watchman controllers on the floor on either side and using them to kind of determine, like, okay, it's not possible for this lighthouse to be here and then this one to be here, because if this was the case, then the geometry for the angles for where the watchmen are wouldn't line up. And to be able to rule out that, or at least come up with a score of how likely or unlikely that we have the position and pose of a specific lighthouse correct. That'll make it really easy to just kind of start ruling things out and hopefully narrow down on where the lighthouses are. We'll see how that goes. And I did mention in the issue that I am toying with just skipping straight to phase 4. Not doing it yet. I think that's it for the summary. I can't really think of anything else that's really happened over the last week that's that big. I mean, other than Dr. Yates posting some cryptic things to Twitter. Let me see if I can find one of them. Did I say Alan or Doctor? I can't remember that time.
Doctor.
Yes, I'm getting good at this. I posted a really neat picture here of what happens to the region of convergence for the 2D lighthouse problem as you rotate the initial seed pose through a full turn. I'm guessing that means that when you're just making a rough guess in the dark as to where the lighthouse might be, what happens? over time as you move that potential pose. I don't know for sure. I don't know. There's a lot of nomenclature that, because I'm so new to this, I have no idea how to even barely speak the same language as Ben and Dr. Yates, because so many times they'll just like say, here's what you do. And then I have to go spend the next like 4 hours figuring out how to actually do the thing they just completely gave me the answer for.
The pose is just the orientation of the device, right?
I believe the pose would be orientation and position.
Yeah, it's a combination of the physical and rotational.
Yes, I can believe that. And I would imagine for this image, yes?
That's just terminology that's I'm familiar with from Unity. That's the only reason I say.
Okay. But then why would it be the initial seed pose unless he's referring to like camera here, object here, guessing cameras, or sorry, lighthouses guessed here, lighthouses guessed here, lighthouses guessed here, lighthouses guessed here, lighthouses guessed here.
The lighthouses I thought didn't have the intelligence to do guesswork.
Yeah.
They don't. But I have to, they're still shooting stuff out in the scene, and I have to do guesswork to figure out where they are, I think.
I think what he's saying is, if you have the lighthouse, though, and you take that, and then you slowly rotate it through and combine the data, that it'll change the guess like that.
But rotating around what? Like rotating around the point?
I would
in
guess around itself, just around the point, the location point, rotationally rotating it.
But would it be the lighthouse rotating, or would it be the lighthouse rotating in 3D space around the
The
point?
lighthouse isn't supposed to move, it would be the headset moving.
Well, this is just a simulated problem, I think.
Well, you could ask.
Yeah,
Dr.
Dr.
Yates
Yates is
yes.
here. He's
Oh, is
alive.
Dr. Yates in here?
What?
Oh. Oh, Dr. Yates. Too late.
You are now
we know
Dr.
your
Yates.
secret. By the way, if you are curious, the reason I was thinking Dr. Yates was the person where I first saw that was yeah, right here. It was somebody who is not named mentions, I see Dr. Yates has already responded to more intelligent posts in this thread, and I was like, Dr. Yates!
I guess I don't know how long we want to keep this trend going, but Dr. Yates says that the color is the number of the iterations it took to converge to one position URAD orientation.
Wait, 1 micrometer? Microrad?
That would appear to be the case.
Is that using fake ideal data, or is that using real, like, did you actually capture some data? Because there is no way I'm getting any of my data to converge to within
Purple is where
1 micrometer.
became singular during the iteration.
Singular. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, math.
Yeah, getting out of my comfort zone here.
No.
I've heard Jacobian before, but I don't
Oh
remember.
wait. So you're actually somehow, I mean, I don't know what the matrix problem would look like, but you're finding some sort of iterative matrix problem that can just converge? That would be neat. Instead, I'm just looping through arrays and just hoping for the best. Yeah, I did see Dr. Yates's Hackaday presentation video. In fact, with all of the Hackaday, sorry, not Hackaday. Yeah, it is Hackaday.
Yeah.
That just sounds funny when I say all of the Hackaday. Anyway, all of the Hackaday presentations from the Hackaday Super Conference, like, even if I was just there for one of them, that I should have just gone. Like, that would have been so worth it. Just to, I mean, any one of those talks now. And then if I would have been there, I would have known about, like, the Vive, like, months before I knew about it. Months? I don't know. When was the Super Conference? Okay, weeks before I knew about it. Because it is a little bit sad that I did not even find out that this lighthouse system existed at all until, like, the week before Thanksgiving. 400 times 1, 2, 3 is a lot different than 400 times NP array. Oh, are you making fun of the fact that my Okay, you guys are starting to. I know you guys know what you're talking about to each other, but I think there's some information not being conveyed.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Terminate the iteration, you convergence criteria.
NP, I mean, unless you're making a joke at me about my approach being non-polynomial, but it is by definition polynomial, right? Like O of n to the sixth, which is how terrible my algorithm is still polynomial. That was my own Python bug. 400. Oh, okay. 400 times 1, 2, 3 is 400 copies of 1, 2, 3. But I don't understand what that has to do with. Okay, got it. As you can tell, I am not a Python guy. Do you want me to go write this out? Will that see? Oh no, laptop dying.
Dying?
Closing that. Okay.
What did you do to it?
It's just so slow. It's just that slow. Come on. Okay. Is a lot different than... Fine, let's see what this looks like.
Ben Jackson says he's solving future lighthouse problems while you're solving solved ones.
Wait, where did he say that?
Slightly earlier, it's maybe...
Ben Jackson is solving future lighthouse problems while I'm solving solved lighthouse problems. Yes, I totally believe you. But it's someday, I'm going to be solving lighthouse problems that will never be your lighthouse problems. In fact, they will be lighthouse problems I will create entirely of my own accord.
They will be third lighthouse problems.
Yes, they will be of a third kind of lighthouse problems. The kind that... Why? Why do they exist?
Dr. Yates says that the star is a replicator operation, not a scalar multiplication.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like almost like the thing convolution, I'm guessing. No, that wouldn't be like convolution.
I don't know the
Replicator.
word, but...
It would just put it, the idea would be it would make 400, or 1, 2, 3,
You're making
whatever.
400 of the same array instead of that array times 400.
But I regret that I don't understand what that has to do with anything we've been talking about, unless that has directly to do with the picture you posted to... anything, I don't know necessarily what that has to do with. Okay, the way I have the slow i5 laptop is because this is I think it was the first i5 of this type, but it's a 2450M, which is I guess a little bit faster than a Core 2 Duo, but it's absolutely abysmal because the laptop itself is several years old.
Telling you, you just need to get one of these.
Nope, not doing it. Okay.
Why? I can run VMs on this just fine.
My context anyway, nothing to do. I also feel a little bit embarrassed. I can't even figure out how to make... Oh, I don't have NumPy. What?
You seem to have worked the audio.
The image in the top right of
Oh, got it.
camera image is frozen.
Oh, no.
Did you put it on not correct?
Oh, whoa, okay, just turned it way up.
It tried to give me 2 1s, but kind of failed.
Okay.
You maybe just want to take the ice out of it.
Still hearing a lot of background pressure.
Yeah, I know. It's coming through the normal microphone. Oh, that's a little annoying. Let's hope that I can select this. Okay, is the sound back to normal now? Can you guys hear clearly? The answer is don't flip the laptop over while the webcam is plugged in, because laptop also has terrible USB ports apparently.
It is not yet back to normal.
It is not back.
So, what's up with the sound? Is it terrible? Or?
It's really loud. It's got high gain.
You know what? Let's just switch it over to my. Well, no, because that's going to sound all crunchy.
A lot of background humming.
Okay, hold on. Can you guys?
It doesn't sound like it's switched.
It's good
yet,
now?
Like Praxis points out.
It's good now. It's odd that that doesn't.
Let me see.
Still watching you switch.
I hope that I won't need to reboot the stream to get that to work.
No change yet.
What about if I just leave the volume down? Is this microphone good for everyone, or?
And it's a lot of background humming, system humming.
It's pretty bad.
Okay, got it. So we really do have to figure that one out. Tell you what I'll do. I will just pause and restart.
It still sounds like you're using like the laptop's onboard mic.
I am, but now I'm trying to switch away from it. Okay, can you guys hear me clearly now? Does that work?
Oh, I think you got it.
Okay, so that's the answer. Whenever that happens,
Yes.
I'll just
Oh,
do
good
that.
lord.
Okay. Oh my gosh, so many
Yes.
chat messages. Okay. Python. Which Python am I using?
Python 3. Looks like it.
All in an effort to just click and copy and paste this one thing. Oh. Wait. Well. Oh, you're saying that's a lot different than that? No.
Was someone saying something about seed values or seed position or something or other?
That was for the Dr. Yates's Twitter video or Twitter picture. His
Has it nothing to do with this?
no, I don't think so. Region of yada yada yada. Solver convergence. Yeah, initial seed pose through a full turn. Yeah, sorry. This definitely works better with Simple Screen Recorder. OBS definitely, whenever I have Adam's laptop, we do OBS. Anyway, I don't actually have a really solid plan for today, other than I was going to collect some data.
I think he's had enough of the Dr. Yates. He has no academic credentials beyond high school.
Are you
Yeah, high
serious?
school, awesome.
What?
So much for research. You're clearly not a research
What's his
doctor.
position again?
Actually, yeah, Dr. Yates, what is your title at Valve? Or your position at Valve, I guess, because you never really asked.
How did
We
you get
need
it
some way to
without
refer to you if you don't want to be called doctor.
Yeah, what he said.
We don't have titles or positions. That sounds like Valve, yes.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
They're very abnormal culture
Yeah,
as
they don't
far
have
as
a
companies
hierarchical
go.
structure.
If you're hired, you're basically on the same level as everyone.
That's a little crazy.
It's very unusual.
That is crazy.
Basically, there are no bosses, or I guess the only person who would have a little more weight pull would probably be Gavin.
Okay.
There are no official.
But yes,
bosses.
there's no official bosses.
I'm still pretty sure Chief
jokingly used to call myself chief phrenologist.
Phrenologist, like phrenology, like brain phrenology.
Kate has all the
If
weight.
we keep this
Okay, let's.
happy-go-lucky lighthouse phrenologist, is that actually what that
Make
means?
it up. Like it's a new. Oh, that's fun.
That's great.
Huh. Phrenologist.
Audio just cut out for me.
Video cut out for me.
I know why.
Okay, it just came back.
Hold on, let me jack in.
Yep, I can see myself moving now.
Okay.
There we go.
And hopefully it will connect in.
Streaming on Wi-Fi, Dan.
Yes, okay. Now we're actually streaming on regular, so good to go. Let's, I think we have stalled enough here.
Yes.
Let's go close some of these tabs, and let's make sure that some of this data will actually work. Actually, I need to make a new issue. That is if it happens. Let's see. Data recorder. Oh, you know what? Make clean all, because I know I've done a lot of stuff that could break that.
What data are you collecting?
Right now, good. This worked the first time. I'm right now just tracking, not really tracking, but collecting data from this thing.
That's that.
Yes.
And
Can I
then
move?
your data points. Yeah, you can
Well,
take this
Just
off
a
now.
little bit.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
going to
can
take them
take
off.
them
I'm
off
just going to
now.
move them.
Oh, yeah, you can take them off now.
But well, no, it's easy to move.
Sudo git install coffee.
Yes, please.
I could go for some right now.
What time is it?
It is
Charles,
11.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm sorry, Mindy.
I got some, but like, I slept for 5 hours after work. I was tired.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, it's weird.
There was like one pose I could get it in where it would just, oh hey, it's freaking out sometimes.
Let's get it too. Oh, you're not too close, are you?
Oh, I am too close. That
Are
is
you
what's
too
going on.
close?
Yeah,
You
I
shouldn't
think
be too
I am.
close.
Oh, I mean, let's see what it says. Am I actually too close? Is that?
No, you should be able to walk right up to it almost.
Well, I know if you use the venerable Ben.
I don't want.
What do you call him? What do we even call you? The last Ben? What is your title? So we have Dr. Yates and. At any rate, the problem is that the disambiguator prevents my disambiguator, because my disambiguator is terrible, prevents me from getting too close to the lighthouse, because the regular actual data pulses, the sweeps, are so long when you get that close to the lighthouse, because as the data's sweeping over it, it just takes so long to go whoop, that I misread the pulses as though they were actually coming from a lighthouse itself. And so that's why if I get this, let's point this up there.
Ben says that he's the phrenologist, I'm the navigator.
So we have the lighthouse up there, and then I'm going to go sweep this down to me. So me here, lighthouse up there, me here, lighthouse up there. Okay. So if I get this too close, you'll see that these numbers right here, this column right here, so if it's far away, you'll see that they're relatively small. Actually, if do you want to run that to the other side?
Is that lighthouse on?
Yeah, that one's on. Let's grep for.
It's on first.
I think it's our lighthouse. Can you turn around and face this one and make sure the other one can't see it? Oh wait. Let's see. Yeah. Now flip it around the other way. Something's wacky here. Why is that not quarter?
Ben says the main thing I worked on is what you're doing right now.
Oh no, wait. If this was your full-time job, how in the world am I ever going to do this in like 5 hours a week?
Figuring out where you are based on the signals.
Oh, that's a good point. As Mindy just pointed out, Ben did have to do this from scratch, so. Something's freaking it out right now. I don't know what that is.
Ben is the math guy, and Dr. Yates is the hardware guy.
Well, that doesn't make any sense to how I perceived it. I figured,
I'm sorry, wait, no. Chief Phrenologist Yates.
right, but why is it freaking out?
And
there?
of course, Ben says he's a terrible math guy.
So, I know math people, but they've never been able to convey to me mathy things in a way that I can. Okay, they have sometimes, but it's very rare that they can convey mathy things in a way that I can understand them. So very often I just end up doing terrible things to get by. I'm curious if that's similar. Yes?
Trip Bunheimer asks, how important are the flashes? Are we using them to get the location in this instance?
So we're talking about two different types. Oh, you're talking about the flashes? Yes. In order for us to figure out where to plot the points on the screen, which it's not doing too hot with right now. Don't know why. In order to do that on the screen here, this is it. I don't know why it's not working, but I guess if I hold it like this, I'll make it work. But most of the time, what I do is I time the difference between the flash of light and what time they get swept. So as I move it this way and this way, you can see it moving up and down a fair bit. Also, I have never seen it this glitchy. Let me see if I'm just doing something terrible.
It's a little jittery and hard to say.
Yeah. I did just buy a book, Computational Fourier Optics.
And when I see the title, I'm like, what the am I doing? That sounds like my life.
Let's just make sure I'm not doing something dumb.
You might need a more stateful disambiguator.
I know I need a more stateful disambiguator, first of all. That is what the other guy, I can't remember his name right now, what he's working on. And it looks promising to me, but I just have a difficult time really understanding his code because he put one comment in the entire thing. One! It's not enough. JPICHT. Actually, I know his real name because he stuck it at the top of one of the files. Disambiguator.c. Julian Picked. Okay, I guess I can't pronounce his real name because I don't know it. But yeah. Haven't given up on a Fourier optics problem, solution to our current problem. Okay, yeah, it's possible. Phrenologist, what was the word again? Phrenologist Yates. But yeah, something's going on, and no, I'm not stepping on my own memory. Something's just busted. Also, something's super busted. It's not
a big issue.
Say what?
Oh, I was trying to see what it was wigging out about.
Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I just restarted. Let's see if it's still freaking out. That looks pretty... Oh, nope. It's still definitely freaking out. Not sure what's...
Now we're having a discussion about titles. Head member.
Oh, what is going on here? Oh. Okay, so this stuff is more busted than I realized. Survive data. So right now we're not actually using Julian's new disambiguator, which I'd love to use, but let me see if I can find the comment. Here, his comment is maxed allowed diff for a match. Which, okay, I guess I kind of understand what that means, but come on, guys, more comments. Especially on things that are this, like, densely complicated. Let's see here. So, why is this doing that? Let's print out some data. So one of the things I've been doing a fair bit is printing out data at the disambiguator step to try to understand at least what in the world is going, sort of what's going on. So I guess what I'll do is I'll hold this up until it disappears, close it, and I'll see why in the world did that disappear. Okay, actually this is kind of a useful thing to talk about right now. Let me see here. To really simplify this though, we should probably switch mode to A. Maybe if I'll just...
something polar edge flips.
Yeah, you're right. They are JK axes. I really should define it that way. I like that you guys did that J and K instead of X and Y. That way it really helps like prevent some of the confusion.
Do they like where you're going with the polar coordinate system?
What?
Do you know if they like where you're going with the polar coordinate system as opposed to...
Oh, the Cartesian that I've been doing? I don't know if they like that.
Because I am not doing this in polar.
No, I don't blame you on that. No, if you can do your stuff in Cartesian. No, it needs to be in Cartesian in the end. Like, I'm not
Why
dealing.
does it need to be in Cartesian in the end?
Because in order for me to know where I am in 3D space, I have to be able to give a matrix to the video game to say, yo, put the camera here. And as soon as I give the video game that matrix,
like XYZ.
all I have to do is render the screen. And I'm sure a lot of other math that I'm going to find out real soon that's going to be really painful, but I'm just going to power through it and hope for the best. If I can get there, I'm pretty sure I can just like wishes and hopes and everything will be fine. Like terrible, but fine. But no, I do need to know where the camera is in 3D space in order to do that. And I need to know where my little ESPs will be in 3D space
Somebody
in order
wants
to
to
use
know
them.
if you're doing this for the 1 kilobyte challenge.
I will not be done with this in time for the 1 kilobyte challenge, even if I was. And I already mentioned before, I don't think I'm going to be competing in the 1 kilobyte challenge because somebody already wrote an operating system in 1 kilobyte. And
Whoa.
Has a text editor, a compiler, it's got a file system, it's got everything in 1
That's
kilobyte.
impressive.
Yeah, that was crazy. At any rate, let's see here. Oh, now it's all hung up. Okay. Oh, there we go. So why is this thing freaking out sometimes? What is causing it to wig? Did just make some changes to my algorithm. Maybe I need to revert that. Oh no, I have not done Git reverting in so long. I'm doing it live. This is terrible.
Isn't Git reverting called importing it into Subversion
No, wait, what?
or maybe CDS?
No, you would never use CDS nowadays. How do I view history? History. Where are you, history? History. Oh, hey, look at that button right there.
Praxis says that polar should make triangulation easier, but they want nothing to do with that math.
Well, I mean, no, I'm not going to keep it in polar coordinates. I'm just going to use them initially to determine the locations of the lighthouse, and then once, and not even that, I'm going to potentially use the polar coordinates to determine the optimal pose with respect to the the simulated triangle thing going on to make sure we get the position correct of the cameras, and then everything else in Cartesian. You might have missed it. This is stream number 5, Praxis. Check out the branch. How do you do it? Git check out. Oh, I did not copy and paste what I intended to. Let's see here.
Our chief horologist says just stick to Cartesian.
Well, no, specifically, finding the centroid of that funny shell shape becomes much easier if that particular thing is in polar coordinates.
He says that we're a long way from caring about that.
I'm not along. I need to know where the lighthouses are.
What are we a long way from?
Needing to care about polar coordinates.
Will we eventually have to care about polar coordinates?
I think so. I mean, I don't think we have to care about polar, but I just think that polar will produce a better centroid. Like the Gaussian distribution will not be this funky shell, which is not Gaussian. It would become a Gaussian distribution, which you can relatively easily find the centroid of. Okay, how do you do this? Is head now, is that right? Does that work? Okay, let's give it a shot. Is it still freaking out? No, it is not still freaking out. So clearly something broke in the last couple revs, and we're going to probably have to figure that out. But, so no, this is totally much better right now.
So I can only see a few little dots. What exactly is it?
Let's see, how close can I get this to the... No, that's about it. So what we're actually looking at is the position from the lighthouse's point of view of all of the dots on the front of the face of the HMD. And so the one on the left is the lighthouse that's on this side, and then the one on the right, this one right here, is the lighthouse that's up to the upper left-hand corner of the unit E sign.
Okay, there, I see it better now. It was just, you were talking about it when I was watching the stream, so very disconnected.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wish that I had the lighthouse in view. Actually, I should probably do that next stream. Okay, so let's cancel that. Let's figure out where this all went wrong, since something went wrong somewhere. Oh, you know what? This is going to be hard because his pretty much supersedes mine. Huh.
Wonders of version control.
Let us see if this works.
Somebody says you should make a Discord.
What's a Discord?
Discord is a new voice and chat program. Basically, it's like having this, but live all the time, and it logs all your messages.
It's
So-
IRC for people that don't know what IRC
Yes,
is.
basically. But it has built-in voice chat too, so you can do voice chat rooms as well as like multiple different chat rooms. You can assign people different roles like moderators, trusted like engineers or whatever.
But it's not in the YouTube chat, so...
It would give people a place for, if they find something though, to post it and leave it, similar to the GitHub issues, except it's more fluid.
Okay.
Discord is
I
very
see
useful.
the
I use it a
value.
lot.
I mean, if you want to set that up for next time, I'm up for it. Right now, though,
I
I'd like
can
to
try that.
leave it the same. So let's see if this fixed that. Right now, I'm just bug fixing stuff. So if you don't like bug fixing, this is not going to be your day. What is going on? Why can't it? Oh, that's right. This was after I started getting the data from the... Okay, time to power on the Watchman. I unfortunately changed things a little bit, so it required the Watchman to be online, so it can pull the config from them. So these guys are now... Gotta fire them up.
Yeah, I'll look into making a Discord server for you, and I'll send you the info.
Okay. No go? No go. No go. You working? Looks like no. Let's see if... Ah! Okay. Actually, I have a random question. Ferologist Yates and Ben, we have to have a better name for you. In your estimation, how long is this going to take us to get to where we want to be? Are we talking like 30 live streams or
we just
like
call him Uncle
50?
Ben?
What?
Can we just call him Uncle Ben?
Uncle Ben.
Something just turn off.
Yeah. I just turned this back on. The Watchmen turn off on their own for some reason.
They do that a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. If I stop using it, it really should. You can look up how long it took you? Oh, that's not good. That's going to be getting data from these. Ugh. Great.
It depends how much gets done live versus between sessions.
I mean, I'm shooting for maybe about 33% live, 66% behind the scenes. Like, I spent like 4 hours last night just banging my head against the wall trying to figure out why the timing on my Bencoder stuff was all wrong, which was just embarrassing because it was some really dumb reasons. Oh, how do you like the term Bencoding too? That was a little bit of fun.
Is it a Venn coder or a Ben coder?
What?
Oops, my stream stopped.
Did you say Venn coder?
No, Ben coding.
Ben coding.
Yeah, no, the Ben coding that's going on with the Watchmen.
Would you say that the lighthouse intersection is Venn coding?
No, but it would be...
Well,
He does not name everything after himself.
no, Venn coding. Like a Venn
This is
diagram.
like that GIF issue. Remember, when you do something and you give it to the world or the internet or somebody, it becomes theirs, and they get to determine how it's pronounced. So, like, GIFs are GIFs. Even though the creator maintains they're called GIFs, because the internet now owns GIFs, we've named them GIFs, and they will be GIFs.
And we pronounce the name of animals giraffes.
Fan, I don't really want to get to like all of my plans because a lot of them are just really lofty and a little embarrassing. But I really, really, really want to get the ESP8266 tracking in the scope of a system, with the entire system being on its of its own system-ness. So we don't actually have to rely on any of the libraries, and we don't have to rely on any of the open source libraries, which I've now basically found out are a lot more incomplete than I ever realized. And way more data than I have patience for. ESP8266 is 160, and ESP32 is 240 megahertz. ESP32 is dual core. We'll just see what happens. Let's go back to the newest.
Acer says the ESP is expensive compared to the 8266.
ESP32. No, it's not. Oh, here it is. It's $3 a piece.
Okay.
It's cheap as dirt.
How much is an 8266?
You can get ESP 8285s for $1.80 a piece, I think. And 86s are $2 with the. You can get an 86 on the dev board and everything else for $2. So.
And this one's what, $3?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it would require an extra chip and all, but you're talking $1.
Getting something shipped from America to Denmark will cost me a month's rent.
No, I will ship it to you for $2 and what is it? $2? No, it's $3.15 from US to like anywhere in the world. Oh, you mean you want it on a dev board? Yeah, good luck with that. So it's still freaking out sometimes. But
Wait, your secret ESP source is just eBay?
Yeah, oh no, that's how I do it. If I want more ESPs, I just go to eBay and I buy them. Well, specifically, I buy them from this guy here.
This guy says Taobao is amazing. If you can read Chinese.
Specifically, I'm not actually allowed to say where I get the. I am the distributor for most of the raw chip ESPs that I'm aware of. So I do have. I'm actually the guy who sells them to everybody, and I unfortunately am not really able to say who my distributor, who gets me the chips to go distribute to everybody else. So. So I just checked out master. That means I'm on the new one, right? That should, I think. It seems like it's kind of working. Not sure what's going on here. I'll just copy.
Charles, you better watch out. Somebody's onto your microchip mafia.
What? There's nothing illegal about what I'm doing that I'm aware of. I think. No, I don't want to copy that. I want to... How am I going to look at that version of that file?
Can you ship to India?
I think I can ship to India. Just go buy it off eBay. I'll try to find a way. By the way, that's not just the selling point of the ESP8266. That is the magic of the ESP8266, is that it is somehow they will FCC license the module without having a without already having to have the power supply and everything built into the module, which I don't understand how they did, because I thought the rules were pretty clear on that. Somehow they did it, and so I'm good with that. I'm more than happy to use the wonderfulness that some person got FCC certified.
Somebody wants to know if you plan on stop using the 66 as the 32 gets around.
In time, I might reduce my use of the 66, but they really have different purposes. So, for instance, on this particular project with libsurvive, the ESP, and specifically 8285s, which are the ESP8266 with the flash built in, would be really good for just having one ESP per sensor, because it can sample at 80 megahertz, a GPIO pin, have tons of processing because it's 160 megahertz per LED, and then you can then go like ship that back up the chain, because they're only $1 a piece. Like, you can just use them everywhere. But the ESP32 is for different projects. It's for much bigger projects. Ones where like, okay, I need to go talk to like a camera, or I need to be able to like, I don't know, do serious lifting, like things like big projects. But the ESP8266 is still spectacular for any kind of small project. Yeah, you know what? I'm starting to acknowledge that there's just no way to get serious work. What's going on?
I just made a really loud squeaking noise
Okay.
in the background as well.
Yeah, any kind of serious work really has got to get done offline, at least for a while. I think we really lucked out on the first few live streams where I was somehow able to work and focus at the same time, but yeah, that was clearly a short-lived phenomenon.
Well, you've never been much of a speak and code type person either, have you?
No, I've never been a speaking code person. I'm trying. That would be an awesome skill to get, but and right now, all I'm trying to do is just figure out what in the world is going on. So
The chief virologist says that we need clean angle data first to get anywhere.
oh, I know we need clean angle data, and we do not have clean angle data. I'm right now trying to figure out if this disambiguator... I'm trying to figure out where things went wrong.
Ooh, that's a hefty fee. Pacer says that they have to pay $24 US fee for import duties for anything more than $11.
Pacer, that's just fine because ESPs are cheap as dirt. So...
Person is just
I'm going to try the new disambiguator in the old one and see. Maybe it was somewhere else in the tree that changed that I'm unaware of.
I'm not sure why, but this person seems very, very convinced that you need to do a git bisect.
What is a git bisect? I do not know what it is.
I don't think you want to do that right now.
That does sound... If I've never done an operation with git before, I don't want to do the operation live on air. I guess not really air, but I guess I'm sure it's air for some people where they have Wi-Fi connections in their houses. I'll stop thinking. Oh wait, no, I'll stop thinking somewhat.
Are there any types of movements we need besides rotation of the headset and translation of the headset? Rotation and translation should
That's
take
all that it
care
is.
of everything?
6 degrees of freedom is all a pose can have.
Okay.
Somebody says that you need to have question time or something.
Yeah, I do need to focus a little bit more on kind of separating out when I'm actually focusing on work and focusing on talking to people. But I am pretty ADHD, so it's kind of hard to do.
Well, I'm probably not any better than you on that either, so this is probably a terrible combination.
I think all of us are a little bit like that then.
Yeah.
I should probably be a lot farther than I am right now, but I'm just kind of like,
There's so much going on that it's like, oh, hey, oh, what's that?
yeah.
I know
Also,
that
I'm
feeling.
tired, and so then it's kind of like, oh, I could do that, or I could sleep.
Git bisect automates a binary search for the bug. Mark each commit as good or bad, and it lets you move on to the next and test it? Sounds like something we need to learn later.
Yes, that does sound like something really good. Pacer, if you would like, for you specifically, if you buy it off me on eBay and you mark it, I will, if you're willing to not tell anybody what the actual cost is, I will mark it as the actual cost on your eBay thing, and you will not have to pay that particular import fee. But please mark it as you, because you know you have that problem. Okay, so I don't think that's it. It looks like the problem might be somewhere else. Where else could it be, though? That's using the new one. Heck, I don't even know if this is wrong or right. I mean, it looks pretty good.
That looks better.
Yeah, but I'm not... Okay, you know what, whatever. Let's just check out
Looks a lot
master.
cleaner, but
Oh, yeah, wow, it is hosed. So what in the world is going on there?
wait, what?
Look, it's like the data is just completely hosed.
Oh, well, I see points jumping all over the place now.
Yeah, this is way worse.
Whoa.
So that was when I did the check.
Something between the two of those is really bad.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we do need to actually do some. Who is it? What Who was the person who suggested using git bisect? Do you have any very good references for me to try to use git bisect? Because that does sound like the correct thing to do.
Animowani111.
Can you, Animowani, if you can, just paste in a reference, because I'm willing to try it right now. 'Cause this is, I don't actually know what files changed here. And also I'm used to operating at a much higher resolution, but, you know, GitHub and...
The chief virologist says that if it jumps between 4 spots, it's almost always JK mix-ups or frame slips.
Yes, I have definitely noticed that. I'm not really worried about clearing out the JK mix-ups right now. I will be later, but usually when I'm doing the tests, it's the thing sitting in the middle. But no, I want to understand where things broke, because I do clearly have code that works much better, but I don't know what's up with this.
Most of the best. Yeah, that's... I've heard that a lot, Rob. I've definitely heard that a lot.
What did he say?
Most of the best coders are somewhere on the spectrum.
I can believe that I might be, I don't know.
That was not even a thing when I was growing up, but I have very little doubt that if I was growing up nowadays, they would have said that that was the problem.
Dumb things.
Do you need those over there, or can you just hand them to me to keep turning them on?
No, I don't know. That's completely hosed, so what in the world? What changed in that pipeline between those two?
I'm going to do something stupid now because I can, and I'm going to live stream myself live streaming.
Oh yeah, that was like an intermediate one. You're saying good, bad. Is this literally what you typed? Git bisect good, and then a git commit, and then git bisect bad head.
Charles, they're telling you that you have to get good.
That was the best advice I've ever received from one of my bosses in my past.
Yeah.
Just get good at your job.
Get good.
That's okay, because I think I'm breaking like the fourth and the fifth wall here because I'm live streaming us live streaming. I don't know why, it just sounded like a good idea at the time. Okay, I'm done.
I'm going to call this one good. So let's do that. I'm going to learn something new today. Git bisect start. Git bisect good. Paste. Git bisect bad head. What did I do wrong? I'm about ready to just not do that and just revert some code, but do I have to check out? Oh, fine.
You checked out bad.
What is it? Head? I've never. I mean, it already is. So git bisect start. I'm in detached head state. How am I in a detached head state?
You're on the SHA. I don't know.
4, but I thought that was.
You have passed my knowledge of Git now.
No, D4 is an old state. What? What? I am an SVN guy, man. I'm so out of my element here.
Do git bisect reset before you start again. Because you checked out an unlabeled commit.
Nope. Wow, I'm just terrible with the buffer tonight. Okay. To start, yes. Hey! Okay. Git bisect bad head. I don't have any. Do I have some unlabeled commit? Oh, great. Things are broken now.
This is why I was afraid of trying new Git things now.
I mean, what is it? It's master : origin, right? Like to completely reset it. What is it? Or git. Oh no! It's all falling apart. Oh.
Head is what you have checked out. Your checkout failed.
No, it looks pretty happy to me. Up to date.
Someone said to use master instead of head. Git bisect reset and then use master instead of head.
Oh, great. Now it's not even giving me data. Okay. Git bisect.
Reset, then do the checkout of the head.
Git checkout head. Okay. Then git bisect. Okay, what do I do next? Let's do Twitch plays Git.
Please Git. Oh, this is going to go.
This is going to be the worst live stream I will ever do. We'll just never open this one again. I'm just going to. I will edit it so like the first 10 minutes are all we see. Get a super explain.
It's easier to understand Git than to use Git. That humorous in a terrible way.
So what they're saying is they get it.
Whenever I see these things like "we are not bisecting," I just imagine them being said in Linus Torvalds' voice. It's so weird.
They said all you have to do is copy the last commit from GitHub instead of using head.
Wow, whatever this commit was broke everything. How do I mark this one as...
You did a thing.
I did a thing, but I want to move on. I know this is bad. I just want to just say, okay, what do I do next? Let's see, what does this say?
Git bisect skip.
What is skip? Do I want to say bad or skip? Skip.
It says skip from two different people.
Okay. Okay, well that one's also bad. Ah, it's building again. Do clean. Yay! The internet teaches Charles how to use Git. Thank you, internet.
Ah. The internet is good for something.
I'm going to open up a new ticket because this has happened a few times before. Do not know why. Sometimes data just stops flowing from the HMD. Don't know why, but sometimes the HMD randomly decides.
Twitch
not
plays
to
Git.
do-
Oh, that's good.
Even when sending the light on magic.
Apparently, using git bisect on a large code base is a nightmare. They love it in principle, but it gets ugly.
No, I'm sending it the power on command. I'm sending it that magic thing. But sometimes I just have to unplug and replug. Wait a minute.
Wake it up, wake it up.
And go, oh, now it's fine. Don't know why. Same magic. Like if I plug it in and I run it, it doesn't give me any data until I send the magic to tell it to go turn on.
They want to know what the magic is.
Oh, what is the magic?
What is the power on command?
The power on command is located here. It's this one. I hope you can read that. I know it's terrible, but this thing here totally does its thing. I copy and pasted it from like a Wireshark session with somebody. I think Nerol was the guy who published that.
Yeah, Ben wants to know what the power on command is.
No, I know. I just showed it to him. Ben, if you want to know, it's just Vive _ magic _ power _ on.
Live magic power on.
Okay, I'm going to go with this looks rock solid. I mean, it is just like, boom. Track. Yeah! Okay. So I now say git bisect good.
You done got good.
Wait, 0 revisions?
Now we're getting into the NSA. So if this commit is good, say git bisect good.
I'm going with this is terrible. Oh. Yeah, it's bad.
What went from good to terrible?
So if I move this around, it like randomly, like you'll see it go like straight on the diagonals and stuff like that. It's totally hosed.
Oh, yeah, I see. The points just randomly jump out a long way. Did you make clean?
Yes. I did not make clean that time, but I mean, great. I don't even know how to go back to it. Okay, so what do I do? How do I tell the diff? What do I do?
Git bisect bad.
Goodbye, hard drive space.
Yeah, basically.
What do I do? What do I do? I see numbers and hashes and junk that I don't understand.
All I see is git bisect bad.
Git show.
Git show. There we go.
Okay. Oh, okay. That might be a problem.
Hmm. Oh, it's showing you the diff now.
Yeah. So that makes sense why that would be outside of that code. So that's all stuff that I've already manually made sure was fine. That stuff here is down in the Watchman disambiguator stuff, which I know is good. So it looks like it's just this thing right here. So now how do I stop? Git bisect cancel. Stop. Reset. Okay. Git checkout head. Master? Is that what it is? Master. Yeah. Master, head, and origin. I have no idea what the difference between those three things is.
At one point I probably could have told you, but now I don't remember.
I think it's like master is actually where the new one is, and head is what's pointing to it, and origin is the actual repository where it lives, but I always have a hard time with that.
Master is the name of a branch.
So hopefully this should be bad right now.
Head is always the SHA you have checked out, and origin is GitHub in this case.
Master is the branch name, head is... Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Origin
Oh,
is
that makes
server.
sense. So that's why I can't just say head, because... Oh, that's why when I said git whatever the thing, git bisect head, it was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, because I was still on the old branch. It should have been like master.
Somebody wants to know if they can get the source code for your Unity sign
Yes.
on GitHub.
Yes, for the Unity sign, it is github.com, cnlore,
Oh, sorry.
ESP8268 studios 2012 I2S. Yes,
Did you-
right here. I guess I can paste that into chat.
Yeah.
Wait, what did we do to USB valve.c? Wait, what do you mean? Oh, no. No, I don't know what any of those bits mean in there. I just know that you guys puked it out at the headset sometime, and I figured if I puke it out at the headset too, that might make it do what I want. So I puked it out of the headset, and it made it do what I want most of the time. Oh, never mind. Now I feel like an idiot. Okay, so this is broken. Let's go fix it. I think it's right here. That was commenting that out. No, that's still the same. Why is it read-only? What is going on here? Oh. Nope, still freaking it out.
You guys have any chocolate?
There is mountains of chocolate here.
On the table in the dining room, there are a bunch of like Snickers and candy bar things.
The kitchen in there.
Or in the, did I say dining room? Sorry.
Yeah, you said dining room. The question was if we had chocolate, and we're still trying to get rid of all of our Halloween candy.
Oh wow. Okay.
See it?
Yeah.
Yes. Take anything you want.
Nope, still freaked out. You know what I should have done? I should have written down that stuff from git bisect, so I would have been able to go back to it. But I'm guessing as soon as I say git bisect done.
The chief phrenologist says he should just write another disambiguator for you.
No!
He's already wrote 3. What's another one?
There's enough other problems right now. It's not just the disambiguator. Something is just... It was just working the other day, too. Although now... What was... You know what? I'm going to use the Charles mechanism for finding this, which is totally like the subversion awful way. So let's just go do that. Libsurvive, commits.
Hey Charles, remember what I said about what would help be a catalyst for me doing math?
Mm-hmm.
Milkshakes? Do you remember that?
Vaguely?
If you give me milkshakes, I might be able to do math better.
But I don't have any milkshakes right now. But unless there's like stuff in the freezer that I don't know about, Brendan.
That's fine. And hopefully this chocolate will be sufficient
stuff?
for now. I got through a bit of it, but I'm trying to think of a more complex situation just to be able to shed this expensive into a more complex situation.
You write math that makes more sense to me.
Because I broke it down from very basic things, like you start from the simplest things and I slowly get more complicated.
I guess my worry is that like there's that whole
This makes no
frustum
sense,
shape
man.
in there.
You know what?
There's the whole frustum shape. The idea is that things that are closer to the watch, like as I move it up and down, if I'm closer to it, then the delta, angle deltas appear much larger, because that's all we really know is the angle deltas. we don't know position relative to lighthouse. We only know angles.
I am not speaking that language. I am speaking in terms. Okay. Do you want to talk about this right now? Do you want to start this, or do you want to do this later?
How confident are you that this is something to go down?
I wanted to finish this complex situation first in
Go
order to
for it.
like do that.
Okay.
But that's what might require like you finishing more chocolate and milkshake or something.
Okay. Well, I mean, the closest milkshake would be like 7-Eleven. So.
Little.
Ugh. No.
Yeah, I don't think anything else is open. It's
No.
kind of midnight.
Crack Donald's probably.
No, even.
Wawa.
Cookout.
Let's cook out.
They don't have cookout in the north.
Yeah, there's
In the
none of
north.
those.
For reference, the
Charlottesville
Both,
or Harrisonburg
uh,
are in most cookouts.
Ben and
Yeah. Ben and
Mr.
the chief
Dr. Yates,
phrenologist say the math voice.
yes, they say you're making a lot of sense, and Mindy is the person you're hearing, the disembodied voice who speaks the maths.
Stan, come over this way.
Well, if you want to work that through, I'm confident that we will still have time to do it because we're only up to. Oh gosh, what does that work out to? What time?
Wait, they're saying I make sense. They're saying I make sense in that milkshakes are fuel for math.
No, in that your math makes
Your
sense.
math is making sense, and that we should continue down whatever path you are speaking.
Okay. Well, can we do that
Yeah.
a little bit later?
I really think we don't need to know locations of the lighthouses.
Okay. How about that? Let's just. That's a good way to start. So,
guess it is.
Dr. Phenologist says hi, Mindy. And so one of the bases is that I think Mindy's, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mindy, that you're coming from is the idea that you may not need to know lighthouse locations. Okay.
Also, sugar equals math.
Chocolate specifically.
Is she going to become a phrenologist too? And I don't understand.
I don't have a 4-year degree either.
Well, you're about to become Dr. Phrenologist.
Dr. Mrs. Farrell.
Well,
Yes.
apparently you don't need a 4-year degree to be the smartest person in a room, so
Yeah.
as we have just discovered now.
There's different types of intelligence, Charles.
I take sledgehammer to code problems until they do what I tell them.
My kind is
I'm
the
pretty
kind
sure
that doesn't
chocolate
get
is
along
the
with
key to math.
college. Me and college don't see eye to eye at all.
Yeah.
Still doing it, but
I got through community college.
well, UMBC's trying to kill me right now, so.
Mm-hmm. Let me get more songs.
I think I need more caffeine.
Do you guys have any coffee grounds in this house at all?
Probably not.
There is a bag of chopped walnuts in the cabinet above the mic.
Chopped
Nuts?
what?
Apparently,
Walnuts is a coffee brand.
Oh.
Oh, chock full of nuts. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
apparently. Oh wait, you know what? Ben is a pilot. What do we call pilots? Is there a special name for them?
Pilots.
Well, yeah,
Pilot
pilots.
Ben is eating a chocolate orange.
Captain? Can we call him Captain?
Captain Ben.
You can. Captain works. Depends
Captain
on what he flies.
Ben and phenologist. Let's just call him Dr. Phenologist.
You know, Captain Jackson has more of the ring.
Captain
It's fine.
Jackson. I like that. Captain Jackson.
It's kind of like Cracker Jacks, but better.
So now we have Captain Jackson and
This is
Dr.
definitely
Phenologist.
performing better, so let's make sure that I did what I think I did.
Says that Dr. Yates will feel better if you call him Captain.
You call Ben Captain.
Yes.
Okay. Sitting on my leg too long. Oh, I tried pulling a trick in here.
Charles, look at chat.
Captain, oh my captain.
No, the next one. And now we've started it and it cannot be stopped.
I really have to. I'm gonna have to do something in my life to spend more time working on this stuff during the week, so we can keep this a weekend thing and it not be terrible. Because I feel so bad that we're spending an hour right now, just like digging through this Charles mess, when we could be talking about Captain Jackson and phenologist.
I'm finally done with classes for now, so now I have time to go through this code and try to help.
Well, go do it. Do it this week. Make it happen. Make it good. The whole Captain Jackson and phenologist. Captain, there's got to be some ring like them together.
Oh, Captain, my Jackson.
Oh, Captain, my Jackson. But no, but like it's like, you know, like so and so and his sidekick, but I don't know which one's the sidekick. So
It's valid, there are no sidekicks.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah.
I can still pretend.
Maybe it's like what Instant Chem and Paris, Pilot Paris. What's Paris's title?
I don't know what his
I don't
title
mean to be
was.
that guy, but maybe we can move from the like trying to classify a dynamic duo of people that we don't really like. We interact with sparingly.
Yeah. Okay. We're moving.
You know, there's computers to do the more complex situation, and maybe if we get there, you can help me do that. But this is. Can I do this? And then.
Are you ready to talk it over with? Let me just first ask. Oh no! What happened to my code base? I tell you what. I'll keep working on this. Who here wants to hear Mindy's idea of how to do this without finding the location of the lighthouses? Go.
I mean, you're gonna get it whether you want it or not, Charles.
Okay. Let's do it.
I don't know about the internet, but you're at least gonna get it.
Okay.
The internet
Let's
does want to
just
get
do
it,
this.
apparently.
So what you're going to need to do is move that around this way, and we'll aim the camera down at you.
Okay, pretty much everybody wants to hear it.
Now it's time for Mindy's Math Corner.
It will be significantly simpler than Dave's math time.
Yes.
Make video bigger. What?
Oh yeah, I think if we're gonna, you might want to make the video that actually shows what she's doing. Take
Sorry,
over for
Mindy.
the code editing since
Sunglasses.
it's
Yeah.
hard to.
I have sunglasses, actually.
What? I wasn't being serious.
Charles, move to the
Not being
video of
serious.
her over top of where the code is showing.
Yeah.
No.
Basically, people want to be able to see her whiteboard more clearly.
I mean, so nothing on this whiteboard is super complex, and so I'll kind of point at things and probably say what they are as I'm pointing at them.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me. I can actually go switch it.
Your
So.
whiteboard is not yet in view. So.
At all.
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
Also, I haven't thought about how to tell any of you this, so this might be rough.
I will hopefully figure out how to get this all merged together while she's explaining it too.
So, we now have that you are the voice of reason, Icon has maths, and the Mindy Project.
No, not the Mindy Project. I'm associating you with that show. There was one panel I was looking at doing where
You
I
have to
wanted
get
to
it
go
closer.
by Math Cat.
Yes. Yes. Well, no, not too. Well, okay.
There we go.
Apparently this now makes Charles into Mork.
Mark.
No, these are all, I've heard too many of these things in my life.
Do you want a chair back here for this?
I don't know.
At least if
And,
Charles were more, it would.
Dr.
explain
Mr.
what they were
Phrenologist says,
doing.
oh God, we're old.
And Mork and Mindy thing?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is.
Oh, it's going in front. Oh.
Yeah. Get the camera up.
Paul Martin says, go ahead and explain. Don't worry, we'll tell you if we don't understand.
Okay.
Okay, and you guys will handle that while I can go try to debug this code, right?
Yes.
Through some
We will handle
stuff
relaying
first,
cat,
just to hang with me, and
questions.
if I explain it horribly the first time, then we'll go back and try to explain it better the second time. Can you see me? You can only see the board, can't you?
Only the board. Do we want to see you?
I don't know. It's fine.
Because you wouldn't be able to see. You know what you can do?
Don't worry about it. Nope,
Lean
it's
down
fine.
and
Just
point at
like-
things that you were talking about.
Yeah, sure. I don't
Also,
know.
the light is making a horrific glare on the top of it.
I think I got the light fixed. Yeah, it looks like I got the light fixed.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Just moved.
Okay.
I mean, well, actually, I just realized I can just do this.
Nope, I
and
don't
then-
need to be in it. It's fine.
Well,
My
that's
head's
up
cut
to
off.
here. Yeah.
All I saw was Charles' face, like, Matt.
It was a pretty crazy face. Okay, so my hypothesis is that you don't need to know where the lighthouses are at. You only need to know, like, some of the first data we got was, like, I think someone stated it was only relative positions or, like, changes in positions, and I was, like, thinking about it, and I was like, yeah, that's nice, that's elegant, actually, because that's all the data you really want in the end anyway. And so I really have a fear of talking, so bear with me on this one. I might just lose my voice in the middle of it. So I'm assuming that we are using 6 sensors on the headset. Do we have the headset here? And I realize this headset has points in the X, Y, and Z direction. And that's really useful. And so whenever you're thinking about a problem, if you've ever taken a physics course, you always want to be like, what are my knowns? What are things that absolutely won't change that I can rely on? And I realized that the headset, the distance between all of these sensors...
Sorry, you do want to have this up where you are then?
Sure. Can I just like back up maybe?
Yeah, let's
Like-
back up
No,
some.
he's got it zoomed way in on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of distances and translations in the z-axis, we just performed an example of one of those things where if you get, never mind. Really don't like talking.
Okay, now everything's in view, including you.
Okay, so this headset thingy, I made some marks on it, and oh right, I was talking about knowns. So your knowns are the distances between these sensors. So I marked 3 sensors on each side, 1A, 2A, and 3A, and I picked these ones specifically because these ones just have a nice, elegant, like, right in the middle, very obvious, very in front. And then I picked these 2 because they seem to be in line with these 2 down here, and so I can kind of just, whenever I do the math, it gives me quite a few zeros to work with, and zeros are really nice. Yep, so then I worked out some actual numbers for determining the distances between these and kind of like a generic fake unit, because I don't really care how many centimeters or millimeters these actually are. The computer probably doesn't know that either. So
No, we know. We know exactly in helmet space where each thing is.
yeah, but it doesn't really matter what unit
Okay.
it is for the sake of what I'm doing right now. So I assumed that these 2 are basically 2 units away from each other. Actually, sorry, I used these 2, but he took the stickers off and it became ambiguous. Using those 2 sensors. So I assume these are 2 units away from each other in the x-axis, and they are 0 units from each other in the y-axis and in the z-axis. These 2 are about halfway in between this line of symmetry and the sensor over here, so I kind of assumed this was 1 unit. These are 1 unit away from each other. And so basically a half unit to the midpoint, a half unit to the midpoint. And here I assume these were in the same Y location as these 2 up here. And so these 2 are also 1 unit away from each other, a half unit from the midpoint, half unit from the midpoint. And then there's some z-axis stuff. If you're still looking at it head on, then in the z-axis there's some difference between, there's no difference between the 1A, 2A, 2B, 1B, and there is a difference between the 1, 2, or the 1A, 3A, and the 2A, 3A. And same for the other side as well. And so then you have some z-axis information as well. And eventually I made some assumptions about how far those were from each other, and that's what all of these numbers are down here.
Oh, time to point that down. Okay.
Oh, sorry. That's what all of these numbers are down here. So these are the initial positions essentially from each other. As I said, this is change in X for the set of ones.
Oh, they can't see it.
Sorry. This data right here is the change in X for the set of ones. This is the change in X for the set of twos. And this is the change in X for the set of threes down here. This change in X being like the distance, and eventually we're going to want to think of distance as time. Sounds kind of weird, but that goes back to what our knowns are, what our constants are. And it sounds like these motors that emit light will do so in a constant frequency. So no matter what, I have no idea what the frequency is. I haven't really been listening half the time.
If you think in ticks, one full revolution is...
I don't really like ticks because that's a little bit too specific for what I'm
Okay,
trying
then you
to
can
think.
think in angles, like degrees.
I was going to just think in revolutions.
Okay.
1 revolution,
800,000
2
ticks.
revolution. Okay.
Okay.
I don't need to know that.
120, or 860 hertz.
Okay. So whenever something sweeps, it will always sweep in the same amount of time. And so you can use that to your advantage. And I don't know if I should explain that now or later. This is what I mean. I don't know if I should what order I should explain things in. So then I was like, we could even figure out the distance, not just between the set of ones, the set of twos, the set of threes. We could figure out the distance between like 1A and 3A. 1A and 3A. Or 1A and 2A, and then 2A and 3A. And all of those are going to be the same thing as at the other side because of pretty symmetry. I'm really bad at this camera thing. I have no idea if I'm on or not.
You're fine. Everything's fine. If you're not where you should be, I will yell at you.
Okay, cool. So then I wasn't really sure what I was going to need or what I wasn't going to need, so I went ahead and did some math in order to find the distance of a segment in real space to figure out, like, hey, if I want to find the actual distance in real space between, like, 1A and 3A, I can do this little pretty equation up here to find the distance of a segment. So far, I don't know if I need that or not. I haven't actually gone through and done a more complex situation of some of these movements, but maybe that'll be used later on. But just in case, it is there. Do I need to explain the knowns more about how I know where different sensors are in relation to each other and that they're absolutely not going to be changing? That's the most important point, is that this will always be true if you hold T1 and T2 constant. T1 and T2 will always be constant.
So are you referring to the location with respect to the headset constant?
With respect to the other sensor. So like the space between these two sensors will never change.
Yes, okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm okay with that. Nobody else is commenting specifically on that, so...
Okay, cool.
Unless my chat's horribly behind, which it might be.
They said, is it essentially proof that relative coordinates are good enough?
Yes.
That's the only thing
I don't know if that's the only thing.
that's
I'm
been
really
said so
bad at
far.
explaining
Okay.
things.
So he says that makes sense. Keep going.
Okay.
I think I understand. So what you're saying is, like as long as we're sure, because we're sure that the positions on the headset do not change relative to each other.
If it's sitting still.
Okay.
So if it's sitting still, these things aren't going to change, except for like jitter and error and all that, whatever. So then you can take that information and be like, well, what if I see one of these values change? Does that mean something? And I think what could possibly be true is that if you see it change in one very specific way, that will mean one very specific type of movement. For example, if we want translation, and if we want to see translation on the x-axis, then assuming the sweep that goes this way. Okay, something I missed that's important. This little graph over here. You can kind of think of the sweep as something that creates the Cartesian coordinate system for you. And so assume it's sweeping this way. And so as it passes by like this point in space, you can mark this basically as like t unit 1. As it passes by the next one, t unit 2, t3, et cetera, or rather t equals 1, t equals 2, t equals 3, etc. for t1. And then same thing for t2, as it goes up and down, you can still mark as, well, whenever it passes by this place, this will always be t1, t2, t3, t4, t5. And it creates your Cartesian coordinate system for you by doing these constant sweeps that absolutely won't be changing unless you move it in the middle of what you're doing, which I have no idea what kind of effect that will be. I haven't really thought that far ahead
Very
yet.
bad things happen.
What?
If things other than what you're wearing like that, if they move in the middle of something, bad things happen.
Bad things
What do you
happen. I would expect bad
if
things
the
to happen,
White
but I
House
don't really know.
Gets
Oh, God,
displaced
yeah, it
while
gets-
sweeping,
yeah.
really bad things
I
happen.
have noticed that. If there's any kind of...
If the HMD totally freaks out.
That's appropriate for what I'm hypothesizing, so cool. Kind of. Error correction is good, but yeah.
You don't bump the lighthouses. If you do, you're done for a minute until
Yeah.
it resyncs.
Yeah, I bet.
Does it actually resync on its own? Because I've always just stopped and redone the whole room calibration.
If you bump them, but they settle, if it's like a teetering thing,
It goes
they
back
can
to its
actually
original
be
place.
fine. Yeah, but if you knock them out of position, you're pretty much screwed.
Dr. Phreologist says, I have never tried to formulate it without using the base station coordinate system. The observation changes with motion allow you to solve for the coordinate system. So he thinks that this is possible. Okay, keep going, Mindy.
Okay. So what you can do with keeping this in mind is that if you want translation along X, so it's sitting still and it moves this way or this way, then the time at which it receives like 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you move it this way, then it's gonna hit a little bit sooner. It's gonna be 1, 2, and not hit 3, 4. And so to think of this from the perspective of the headset, because the Lighthouse doesn't actually do anything, the headset's like, oh hey, I got maybe percussion comes in handy here. So think of it in measures of four that are looping through each other. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4. It moves this way, then all of a sudden your measures become kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, and no hits. If you think of it from this perspective, if it's a bunch of looping like music measures.
By the way, Captain Jackson is re-quoting you, because the lighthouse doesn't actually do anything.
I mean, it shines light, but
It's the most important thing!
but does it have a brain though?
He's getting that on his shirt. Well, it does, because it knows it can flash, and it can the flash that it gives you is a precise time from when the sweep happens.
Does it change?
I mean, it has to make constant adjustments internally to like keep everything perfectly in line. So
In order to make sure that absolutely nothing changes.
Yes.
I think
So it's like a stabilizer.
So
I
Ben
think
says
his-
because the lighthouse doesn't actually do anything, he's getting that on his shirt.
I think his comments are more a directed jab
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
at certain someone else.
Okay, keep going. Sorry, I shouldn't have. And Dr. Yates also says, well, you end up knowing where the bases are either implicitly in some kind of state or explicitly as a solution that you use them directly. Okay, I think that's.
You might be able to eventually figure out where the lighthouses are all from this data, but I still don't know why you'd really need to.
Okay, I believe you.
It would require some random
let's
trick
just keep going,
using
though.
all three.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's translation along the x-axis, and then translation along the y-axis works the same exact way, except like instead of the measures going from side to side, like you would see it in a music measure, all of a sudden they're going up and down, kind of like in some music games. And then if you have movement along the z-axis, something I noticed whenever we were at the cabin is that your distances between your known sensors increase and decrease. So if you hear the distance between these two sensors, and these two sensors, if you back it up, they'll all seem to increase. And so in terms of time, whenever you think of it that way, then it will kind of be just larger changes in hits. So here it will be like bam, bam, bam. Here it will be like bam, bam, bam. That's like hyperbole. Obviously won't slow down that much, but it's an example of what will happen there. And if you get it a lot closer, then it's going to be like bam, bam, bam. And so that's if those hits all change in the x and y axes. I'm going to say in a particular way, and that will have translation along the z-axis.
Okay, so there's a few questions. So Mindy, what you're saying makes sense to me, but would you be able to know the absolute coordinates if you don't know where the lighthouses are? So
No.
the absolute coordinates based on something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what you mean by absolute coordinates. Nothing I'm doing has absolute anything.
So I guess that would have to do with more, if you were inside of the room, would it be able to know like where you were in the room, or like if
But
you
what does
start
that
here?
mean? Like,
There is more, by the way. Let's just
Okay.
get through it.
could you know? Hold on, go back up to that one.
Can somebody else with a reasonable laptop? Can you
Filter check
yeah
questions?
no like can you like come here with a laptop so we can just, or you can't. Hey Mike, can you come over here with a laptop because you can actually view chat on it? My laptop's like totally not.
1 second.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. The
Can
general
I
idea.
explain rotation? Oh, here we go. Okay.
Using the invariance, the sensor constellation geometry is the right approach. Ah.
Constellations are a great way to think about it, yeah. Yeah, no, I was actually previously like an astronomy minor when I did try to go to college, and that definitely has also helped me think about this.
Okay. Where all the lighthouses are in the world. Anyway, with the movement in x and y and rotation not increase the timing hits.
Oh, so he's asking about rotation. That was going to be where I go next.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I'm just going to keep explaining this.
Okay, and I do want to just real quickly say quick motions are really not an issue because you can, in either end of it, you can predictively kind of expect it to have come at a later time. So don't need to worry about quick motions.
Okay, I'm also
Okay,
just
so-
curious, Charles, are you getting this? I want you to
I'm-
be listening more than
I'm
anything.
still having a hard time, and I know that is kind of because I'm probably going to be the one who, maybe the one who writes it. But by the way, Ben says this.
Yeah, I have more
Okay.
cases here. to
Okay,
talk
then
about.
let me say. So my perspective on it, what I do understand is the idea of being able to measure everything with relative motions from where we are, which I could probably like back into like absolute positions from some initial starting position. But what I don't understand is as you would get closer or farther from a lighthouse, that relationship of like if you move forward and then left and right versus if you move back and then left and right.
Right, so those are the more complex situations that we're
Okay.
going to try to get to after I try doing the basics
then keep going.
things.
Okay.
Because the basic things are going to help inform the more complex things.
Okay.
It's all about building on the things you already know in order to get to the things you don't know.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so more things that we know. So the things that I'm going to say we're aiming for, maybe talking about that will help, are we know that within physical space, rotation can happen, translation can happen, and really those are the only two things I think we came up with. So what I'm trying to do, I guess, right now is explain what each, I don't know what to call it, signal profile, position signal position profile, I don't know, whatever, will be for each of these types of movements along translation along X, Y, and Z, and rotation along X, Y, and Z. And then after we kind of understand those basic 6 things, then maybe we can get to a more complex situation where you are like rotating and moving at the same time. And that's kind of why I'd be like, hey, let's have a computer help us try to do those calculations for us, because computers are great like that, and I'm pretty sure we've probably already built stuff that can do that math for us. But as far as just conceptualizing this, I think these base examples are probably what we need to aim for first. So I did translation along X, Y, and I did Z. No, that's redundant. Something else to point out as far as our nouns go is that whenever we are thinking about this movement and these sweeps, while we need to know Z information, there is no way for us to blatantly be given Z information. We have to conclude all Z information based off of this XY information that we're given in this Cartesian system that the 2 sweeps sideways and up and down give us. And again, I kind of showed that we can get Z by if all points between X and Y increase or decrease. If it's just X, so that's whenever we get into rotation. If Y does not change, but X increases, then all of a sudden that's kind of signaling rotation. So rotation along the x-axis will be like this, kind of. And so then you're having like, your y-axis is getting smaller and then larger, and it's fluctuating in the y-axis, but not the z, or x-axis. And again, we don't know z-axis, so we're not given that information. It's not part of the sweeps. If we want rotation along the y-axis, it will look like this, and that will be fluctuations in only the x and not the y. I don't know if you guys oops, it's too low. I don't know if you guys kind of see that, but like x-axis, if you rotate along this y-axis, then your space between the x is going to be slowly decreasing as you're rotating along y. For rotation in the z-axis, which will be this thing coming here, it will be like this. And so this will be a change in x and y in a very, very different way than what you're seeing in all x and y's increase and decrease. That's not what's happening here. It is translation among x and y. And so the distances aren't really changing in between them. However, these T1, oh, maybe that's what I need to correct, is this change in T1 and change in T2 are changing. I'm going to fix that, actually.
Wait, what is this for? So I think I understand for a single lighthouse that this is this is kind of the inverse way to describe it from my point of view, that you would be able to write basically a derivative function, so different changes in particular aspects of the pose in the lighthouse view, like from the lighthouse's point of view, even though it doesn't think, would have particular changes on the X, Y, Z in 3D space. I guess for me, I only see that as really having an impact with one lighthouse, but it's within the visor's point of view, or the headset's point of view. So like if you say like translate X, you're talking about translating X and like Y and Z.
Yes.
But I guess from my point of view, like from, I don't know, unless there's got to be some way of translating that back to. Oh, that's interesting. So you would be able to, if you were to even do it over an area, you could then make it. So you can make transformations from like the HMD's local point of view. So like this and this become like where those go in 3D space. Because at the end of the day, we do need to know, like with respect to the room, where the headset is, so that we can render it from that point of view. But I don't know. I got to think about that more, because that would more than a specific solution. That's interesting, because that would. I don't know. I still would have to churn through this more, for me at least.
Yeah,
I don't
sounds
know.
like it.
don't think you want to be doing differences over time.
I don't know what Spongman is saying. It's not calculus, linear algebra. Yeah, Ben made a joke, like, I wonder if Mindy's going to do calculus, or reinvent calculus on the stream. But I don't think that you want to be integrating differences over time. You'll never be able to handle the error accumulation. So what he's saying is, as you move like up and around and all of that, you're going to like drift over time, and you're not going to be in the absolute space of the area. But now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if a hybrid approach would work, where you kind of get some sort of ground truth.
Stop adding complexity.
We're really trying to do like 10 different things at at the same time. TCL 987. We basically all have ADHD. This is a terrible project for a whole bunch of people to be doing who have ADHD to be doing.
I passed that test. I don't actually have it.
Ben says you are correct as far as there's a function that tells you changes in lighthouse measurements will imply changes in pose. But it's a function of the current pose.
Mm-hmm. At most abstract
Pose
lighthouse.
being like this position and like 0 data?
Oh yeah, actually that's a good question. So Ben, do you strictly mean in relative pose position or in some sense of absolute?
My biggest question, are all of these differences based on this like potential initial position, or are all of them based on the position it just came from?
He says it's based on current pose.
Okay, so all of these are building up off of each other. So like position 0 data is all of this base stuff, and then you figure out position 2 by this change, but then all of a sudden your new information, like your pose, yeah, I'm blending 0, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3. Your third position is going to be this, but it's going to know that it's this based on this position, not this position.
Right. So he's concerned that any error that you get from each one of those steps will accumulate.
I mean, I definitely felt like I even saw it accumulating when I saw Adam playing, because I noticed that he slowly like drifted through the room. He was playing this game where you like have arrows and you like rotate throughout the tower, and you're just standing on a tower. You're not moving from the tower. You're not moving around the tower, and then you're just like basically sniping these balloons and like these knights or something. And I noticed throughout him playing the game, he slowly migrated through the room.
Yeah, that was from the lab. I mean, I guess the big thing though is that with the lighthouses, the magic is that they do know with absolute terms where you are too. I don't know what the actual number is. I guess it's probably like down to about a centimeter probably, or better.
Lighthouses know...
Sorry, I say the lighthouses know. I mean, the computer knows where you are in some kind of 3D. I don't actually even know.
Well, so they have the advantage of having built this and knowing exactly the space in between sensor 1 and sensor 2.
But I'm saying that it doesn't even accumulate.
What do you mean?
So what?
How is this related to? How are these two ideas related?
Okay, so when you have this based on this, based on this, based on this, based on this,
yeah,
there will inherently be a very small amount of error each step of the way.
Sure.
And that error will accumulate over time.
Sure. Maybe that's why all the error correction stuff is so important then.
But what I'm saying is that you can. It is possible, at least that's what Valve is, I think, doing, to determine clearly with some effort after a couple samples, like if you just pick up the Watchman controller and turn it on, it will know where you are eventually, or where it is eventually. So there is clearly some way to get started, though this really has an interesting point, because depending on the way this works, I don't know, I can't tell if it would be better than the naive approach that I was doing or not, but it's definitely different.
As far as getting, just again backing up to what I understand here and what I'm kind of hearing from you, the first thing I hear that's different, that's very large, is that you're actually using units of like centimeters or meters or something. What you have to do in order to add that to what I'm talking about is basically be like, oh, instead of assuming this is 2 units away from each other, just that they're supposed to be a certain like amount of click of time, which associates to like, I don't know, how much is that? Like half a foot, 6 inches or something. And so if it's 6 inches away and it's at a certain position in space, maybe between the 2 lighthouses, then you know that it should hit like 5 milliseconds apart. I have no idea what the actual timing's supposed to be.
George actually points out, you are correct, you can calculate the absolute Z, basically from the lighthouse, from sensors 2A and 2B, and it will not accumulate error over time. Because
2A and 2B?
Yes.
Not 3, using this one? You can figure out
the depth to the lighthouse with those 2. And as he points that out, that makes sense to me because so that'll give you some level of ground truth, because if I have an angle that's exact like that,
Yep.
Well, no, actually it won't give you Z, because if I view it like this, like, okay, now I know that this part of my hand is this far from it,
Yeah.
but then, like, say it's actually at a skew,
Yep.
then, well, now it's like that, so it's
And your
ambiguous.
angles are off, yeah.
Yeah, it could be anywhere along.
Who said that you definitely can get depths? Was it Ben or like?
No, that was George who said that.
Does he
No,
have
he does not.
proof?
He is not a valve.
Because I thought about that while we were at the cabin, and I was like, no, that was actually the biggest reason I thought that we didn't need to know the actual distance in like centimeters or whatever to the lighthouse, because you had that issue of what if you initialize it? Our lighthouse is like. This would be like our lighthouse is pointing up. Can you see me still?
Yes.
It's pointing up there. But this isn't even straight on. And so you don't have not equilateral, but what's the triangle whenever it's 2 equal sides and one other side?
Isosceles.
Isosceles. So like you need to have an isosceles triangle in order to figure out that actual distance, and like there's only one particular case, maybe 2 facing the other direction, the other lighthouse, 2 particular exact case. Well, okay, actually, the more I think about this, the more I'm like, okay, here's more cases, but.
He points. Sorry, I should not keep interrupting. Go.
Anything along the y-axis, essentially, where you're exactly head on to the lighthouse, you'll be able to figure out the depth. But that you'd have to like.
I think you can use more information about. So, like, if you know that like this light is, or sorry, this photodiode here, this photodiode is here, this photodiode here, this photodiode here, and that photodiode there, and you know that particular thing, then if you watch all of them, at least, so what I'm trying to do with my lighthouse thing, I think that's what I'm doing, and I think that's why I'm able to tell depth well, but not necessarily perspective, but it still works. From this point of view over here, like from right here, that has a different configuration of like what that looks like than it does straight on. It's not just that like straight on would be further or closer, it's that it's a completely different configuration.
Yes.
So you can kind of tell the difference. Yeah, and sorry, the other thing was that Mindy's correct. The scale is defined by the constellation geometry. The base emissions are angular fractions of time. And by the way, that was the phorologist. And you can definitely get distance. So I know that it's possible to get distance, but that gets a little wacky.
But you need to get distance. Because, yeah, like, maybe I could keep mathing and get distance, but I still don't understand why we need, like, an absolute distance.
I think the absolute... So, when Adam was playing in the game, I would be surprised if it was drifting. I think he was just kind of warping around or walking around or something. Because I think about, like Space Pirate Trainer, where, like, in addition, when you walk towards a wall, it will draw the wall in front of you. Like, the physical wall will be drawn in the VR display when you get close to the virtual wall.
You drew the wall, though, with your wand.
Right. But so it still has to know, in absolute terms, with respect to, say, the wall, where you are. Otherwise, how does it know how far or close from the wall you are?
It only knows how far and close to the wall you are because you drew the wall with your sensors, and it marked. And if you go back to this thingy, you have this static Cartesian system, and so you basically marked, like, hey, I know my room is, like, here, 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 here,
Right.
here, 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 here. And so you have a picture in this system about where your room is, and then everything exists in that room. And if all of a sudden your sensors notice that you're trying to like approach this point over here, it knows that you're not supposed to be at T1 equals 10, T2 equals 4.
Right. I guess though, like, how does it know? So, like, say we start in the middle. I'm sorry that I feel all confrontory right now. Just like, say we start in the middle, and then you're like making motions over time, like over that way, and then
To draw the wall, or
no,
like
no,
the wall's
just-
already drawn?
already drawn. Like I'm just
Okay.
walking around.
Yes.
And I can track pretty good. But at some point, I have to know that, like, okay, I'm getting, because like I already drew it within the same frame, but I do have to know that I am getting close to the.
Right, so
the
then
edge.
it's just like, oh, we recognize that you're at T7, T1 equals 7, T2 equals, I don't know what that is, 5. And so we know that that's getting near, so we're going to go ahead and render the wall whenever you're at, like, this slightly
Yes.
inside the wall point.
But that still relies on, like, if this starts drifting over time, like, say I spend 10 minutes in the middle, and, like, these errors start accumulating as I walk around, I still need to know, and, like, you know, I would imagine they're going to accumulate on, like, at least the several inches.
Okay, so
level.
we're switching assumptions. We're saying sometimes that, oh, there is definitely drift, and sometimes we're saying there's definitely not drift. And so we need to stick with one assumption.
Oh, okay. What I'm saying is the real system doesn't have drift.
Okay, so with the real system, this still works.
I'm saying the way that the real system is implemented, if there is small errors from, you know, whatever frame to frame, it does not incur long-term drift.
Dr. Phonologist says, God damn it, where's my clipboard?
Oh no, is he going to do another passive Twitter diagram or something?
What does the clipboard mean? What behavior is coming next?
I think that was the one where we got our first hint for, like, you know, like basically, haha, do this thing with the lights, and they will tell you how to do what you're after.
And
So
you will
clipboard
understand
means
the
that
way
doc-
in which you are wrong.
Yeah, that was what happened to me. Was I was like, oh, that's why I'm wrong.
Do this, and the system will show you why
That's
you're
useful.
wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, again, I haven't
guess-
done a more complex situation yet, so I just kind of wanted to present my base hypotheses with the simplest situations, and then you can chew on that.
It is an interesting approach, though. That this does make. So one of the things Dr. Yates wanted me to do was to look at the to look at it with the, as we did at the cabin, with the one lighthouse pointed at the camera.
This is one lighthouse.
Right.
Yeah, we don't really need more than one for this.
And that
That was helpful for me for thinking of this, so thanks.
That is different. I don't know. I think this is definitely something I'm going to have to take offline to really think through. But, like, I feel like there's a lot of value in thinking about it this way, because it does give you deltas between the things very accurately. But I don't know. I guess I just don't know if it's. For getting absolute position, I feel like it's better. I don't know. For me, it's so easy to be able to draw a line out from the lighthouse if I know where the lighthouse is, but I don't know where the lighthouse is right now. So I don't know. Okay, is chat saying anything else?
Should I go away now?
I don't know.
People are saying Mindy did a great job.
Thank you.
There's some general questions. Possible to run the official room setup without two controllers. Come in late, trying to understand what's going on. Pattern.
Yeah.
Sorry, this we will be making the stream available later.
Right now, I'm trying to go against the title of the stream, and I'm trying to say that we don't need to know where the lighthouses are.
And the title of the stream is actually like, oh crud, a bunch of stuff is busted, we need to fix it.
Oh, I thought the title was Finding the Lighthouses.
No, it's let's collect some data and fix some bugs. And we fixed one bug, and we haven't collected any data.
We might have fixed the mental bugs.
That's true. Okay. Does anybody in chat currently have any data that they would like collected? If that would make it really easy if you guys actually have something you want done or you want data for or something like that. I can totally do that. Is anybody in chat right now who's actively working on one of these problems on their own and wish that they had access to some more data? No, it's all. What's going on? I can't even. Okay. Anybody? Nobody in chat? No data? Oh.
Nothing so far.
Oh,
to test, put a headset at one end of a measuring stick and then the other. Oh, it's just don't you need absolute coordinates to know where things are relative to each other?
Did you say use the measuring stick?
well, I mean that makes sense. Like,
Try to correlate that data to an absolute measurement. So yeah, they're trying to figure out if the data is in like a kind of a standard unit that we would be able to figure out, like using a measuring stick.
Oh. Yeah, I have no idea what the data looks like.
so what would you, Paul? What kind of data would you want me to take? Because I can easily take, at least it looks like we got the headset data coming back too. I can take the headset data, and it would give you the relative angles from a specific lighthouse's point of view at different positions. Is that what you like, Paul? TCL 987 says, "Can you get the absolute coordinates by recording a walk around the room in the official room setup?" I don't know.
I'm still trying to figure out what people mean by absolute coordinates. Like, just coordinates for units?
Also asks, collect this. Stand in the middle of the room and turn 360 degrees on the spot.
Okay, hold on. Let's
Do you just want
what things you want to get data for.
A question about that rotation one? Because if we put the headset on and then we rotate, that will require it being like spin in a circle? Or do you just want it to like sit here and then along like this particular sensor rotate along, or just like take the entire like axis of symmetry and rotate? Like there's some details here with the rotation there. I can't read the chat from here.
Okay, when I say absolute coordinates, do you mind moving the thing real quick?
The thing.
The whiteboard.
Oh. Whatever this is
It'll be
like detached and hanging, and this looks horribly bad. Alright, I'm going to move your math.
Okay.
The chat is saying more, rather than absolute coordinates, they're looking for like coordinates in the real world.
Okay.
So
here's what I was trying to. I'm gonna turn some of this off.
Coordinates with
Oh,
units.
you reattached it by sticking it in there.
Yes.
Charles, I have to say that looks pretty jank for you.
I mean, I am the king of jank.
says your beautiful Unity sign
Yeah.
is cleanly polished with fancy lights.
You guys don't get to
was
see the
involved.
backside.
No, I've seen the other side of some of the units.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm trying to say when I say absolute terms, I mean, I will just decide for this particular room, like right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up...
Sorry, okay, so whenever I think absolute, I think you have a particular space in this room that you reference as 0, 0 in the Cartesian coordinate system.
This is a coordinate frame. This is 1 Charles by 1 Charles by 1 Charles by 1 Charles. And you can see I can pick it up and I can move it around. And it's got an imaginary light right here.
You're moving your entire Cartesian system around.
Okay, I am right now, but. Now I'm not. Now I'm not.
Okay.
So right now, I can say, pretend that I have a wall that starts right over there, goes there, there.
You mean the actual wall?
I have a pretend wall too. Okay.
You drew it with your wand?
Yes.
Okay, so we've already set up the wall.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now I want to render it for the person.
The wall.
Yes.
Okay. And, like, should I be imagining the space as Unity 3D?
Yes.
Okay.
So in order to, I have to have a camera in the scene, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you? Let me think about that for a second. I'm going to question every single assumption we're making, as
Okay.
basic as it seems.
Well, you can't see anything unless there's a camera.
But is there a camera, or are there multiple cameras?
Well, if we're talking about the Vive, there are 2 cameras in the scene.
In Unity
Whoa,
3D?
whoa, no. Yeah, oh, the
Yeah.
eyeballs.
There are 2 cameras on one camera assembly. There are 2 cameras, one for each eye.
Cool.
Okay, so that's, and then the idea would be that in order to display the wall, from my perspective, although I see what you're saying, that you could, I mean, you could kind of start with like saying that, okay, the head is, when we start, we're starting it at 0, 0, 0, and then we can have incremental updates as we move along that move us around in this coordinate frame.
Sure.
Like we start with the headset right here,
Sure.
and we can develop the transforms for that. But I just worry that over time, like that wall that I'm drawing in front of me, which will track perfectly to begin with, will kind of start to drift over that way some.
Or some way.
Yes.
Is there a particular reason you chose that
No, I
direction?
know particular
Okay, so in some way.
And so I guess that's where I'm coming from. The value, though, I think that...
Why are you worried about that? What, like, variable, piece of technology, piece of math, where are you worried about that drift happening?
Oh, what do you mean, the cause of it?
Yes.
Okay, so whenever those things say, right now your photodiode is right here,
Yeah.
sometimes it's actually that way, and sometimes it's actually that way, and sometimes it's really over there a little bit, and sometimes it's back that way a little bit. I mean, they're not perfect.
They have stabilized those to ridiculous amounts, it sounds like.
What is it? One something arc seconds. Like, I don't remember what it is.
Arc seconds.
Some itty bitty amount. But you get that update 60 times a second. And so for every single time, say it's like, okay, well, it was, off a little bit that way, a little bit that way, a little bit that way. I just
So
think,
I'm going to go back to my question about what does the error correction look like for them?
what do you mean?
It sounds like they have some crazy error correction algorithms happening on top of the other things that are already happening. So what are those error correction algorithms? Because I think that's why they're so important, is to prevent that drift.
Do you mind just watching for a little bit?
Sure.
I don't know it. Yeah, but why aren't the centered?
They're talking about a diagram that got posted a little earlier up. Here, let me look this up and you can see.
Okay, he's
There's
gonna pull it up.
There's some discussion in chat about it.
I'm trying to think. So, sorry, say the question one more time. I'm sorry.
I have a horrible attention span. I have no idea what I asked.
Where does the error come from or something like that?
Oh, yeah,
you
what
said
does
that
the
there's a
error
lot of error
algorithm look
correction.
like? Maybe that's why that's so important, because they're constantly correcting for that drift.
Here.
Or maybe not even constantly, maybe like once every 60 seconds or once every like 360 cycles or something.
We're going to have to move that onto my laptop or something. So, no, I think that they're doing corrections, but I don't think that they're going to be able to get the error down to like the over several minutes, the integrated, like every single time.
What if they constantly keep track of the original position?
How would
And
they do that?
they use the original position in order to keep referencing back and correcting the drift data. Just remember what the original position was.
So you're suggesting, pretend that the headset's down there.
Where is the headset?
Okay, well, let's say we
Might as well
started.
just put the headset actually there.
Okay. So the way I was thinking about it was we start with the headset right here, and then we figure out where the cameras are, and then we move it around. So then the headset defines the coordinate frame. But
Yes.
what I'm thinking right now is we put the headset right there, and then as we move it, but we would need to move it relative to the. Okay, if we had a single lighthouse, then we'd be able to track it very easily. Okay. What I was imagining was if we had started with it right here, but then now it's over here.
Sure.
So now we have a delta or a change between this to this and this to this and this to this and this to this. So from there to here, now we can define a relative rotation, pitch, all of that stuff. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So now we can then get this in absolute coordinates.
How?
If I define this right here as 0, 0, 0, and now it's here,
Yep.
now it's actually 0, 0, 1.
Sure.
Um,
Is that what absolute is for you?
that's absolute for me.
Okay. That is also relative right now.
To me,
From
this is
0
absolute.
to 1. Okay.
My entire world revolves around this coordinate frame that I made several years ago. So, like to me, this is absolutely 0, 0, 1.
Okay. But not necessarily 001 meters.
In this particular case, where I'm holding it, this is 0, 0, 1 meters.
So you were trying to make it 1 meter.
Yes, this is,
And you care about it being 1 meter. And you know that it's 1 meter because
if I'm going to present it from this point of view right here, it would look different than this point of view right here.
but yes, but how do you know that it's a meter difference?
Well, I'm saying I would need to know in order to put the camera in the right place in the Unity 3D environment.
I still don't think we need it.
Do we want to move on? I don't know. I think we're kind of at a temporary dead end.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. John, can you tweet that picture at me or something?
Sure.
Or a diagram. I mean, I don't know. I just know that I understand chat has kind of, I don't know. I have never managed this before. I'm not a professional. Or actually, if you just resend, I can click on it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, people are saying so much stuff.
Probably. You're getting overwhelmed. You need to just take in what we can take in.
Yeah, we might want to end the live stream soon.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned wanting to actually get data, though. If you can just mention back in the chat again what data you'd like, and then we can try to at least do something we said we would do this live stream.
You can create things in Git that are kind of like tasks, essentially, right?
Yes.
Can anyone add tasks?
Oh, yeah, anybody
Yeah,
can add
anybody
tasks.
can add tasks.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. If you guys want something, just add a task for it, and I'll go do it. In fact, we don't even have to wait for the live streams for me to do it. I can just do that anytime. Okay, so I have open here. Whoa! I have open here.
Image is whoa.
Hold on, let me go resize the camera again.
I need to process this.
By the way, I think I have an answer for the meter question, but
Uh-huh.
I was waiting to see if you could answer it.
Which was?
Um,
Oh, you mean later.
and we can do it later.
Now?
Sure, I don't care.
Okay. I mean, either way, I can do it now or later.
Okay.
Okay, so I have brought up this diagram. Who made the diagram?
Let me find it.
Do you want to erase it now or just take a picture first?
Nayrol.
Okay.
Nayrol in chat.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So Nayrol, or I don't know how to pronounce your name, is the one who's responsible for documenting the great volume of information that we know in the community about the Vive. So that diagram that's up on the screen there, Nayrol, I don't know what I'm looking at.
It looks like
Well-
it's a chart of the headset, the 2 points
need
on
to
it that
move
you're
my
viewing
coffee and
from,
stuff.
and
Wait, if you think you understand, you should probably go sit in my chair and pipe up.
I'm only sort of sure.
Maybe Nayrol can start using some more words.
Okay, hold
Try
on.
to-
The original context that it was posted, if I understand that correctly, then they want to solve the inscribed angle theorem in 3D space to get the position of the lighthouse. Like this, but in 3D. So this is a 2D example of what he's discussing.
Oh,
Okay. Nayrol, VK2Z. The inscribed angle says that if I know the angle between 2 points and their distance, I can find the circle with the 2 points and the observer sit on. That was my stating point.
Forget about the PNG.
Oh, forget about the PNG. All right, well.
The chairs are hidden. They exist. They're just not visible.
He has Paul Martin says, I would like you to put the HMD in one location and then reposition it a set distance away, for instance, 1 meter / yard. Paul, do you want me to just start it at our magical coordinate frame and then move it up 1 meter like I was suggesting and pointing at a specific camera?
Do we have a meter stick?
We have a tape measure.
Okay.
I wish we had a meter stick though, but we're in America, so.
Why do we want these absolute values? I still don't understand.
A trip to Staples may be in order. Not now.
We will try to take this off. Actually,
Paul
anyway.
says yes, and Packer says I'd like to hear the answer to the meter question.
You mean to Mindy's meter question?
I believe so.
Probably.
Why?
Probably.
Okay, can anybody else, because I think I've tried to explain it, if anybody else in chat has any good explanation
I
as
guess I can
to
use this now.
why the absolute positions matter, that would be really good, because I don't know how to explain my understanding of it.
Ooh.
I'm curious about your opinion on this.
Huh?
I'm curious about your opinion on this.
My opinion is that I've been sort of moderating chat. I haven't been following along with what's been discussed to a degree. I'm a little tired, and I feel like there are better heads at the task than mine at the moment. But, I'm sorry. Let me see. Let's see. Paul says at Mindy, the reason we want the meters is because we want to position in real space.
Why? Why do we want it in real space?
I also tried to solve this using
We're rendering this in
tetrahedrons and
virtual
spheres,
space.
but
This is
could
not
not solve the
augmented
math.
reality.
Neither
This
did
is
Wolfram Alpha for some reason.
Virtual reality.
Oh wait, Packer wants
Augmented, I'd be all over
Packer
this.
wants to know what was Mindy's answer to the meter question.
Yeah, I'm erasing this. I'm going to try to figure out how to explain it.
Okay, she's writing it up on the whiteboard.
There's a tape measure.
I have a feeling that the length of this is about to extend exponentially if we go into
Okay,
this.
tell you what, are you guys okay with us just trying to do another live stream sooner than later and just ending this soon? I don't know. What is everybody's feelings? I can just keep doing this indefinitely.
I won't be around for a while. Because next weekend
Oh,
I
and
have
MagFest.
stuff, and then MagFest,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
MagFest.
ShmooCon, and then I have something planned for the weekend after ShmooCon, and then
Oh, ShmooCon, I forgot to get tickets.
yeah, you cannot forget to get tickets for ShmooCon if you want tickets.
I know. That's why I'm irritated.
Yeah.
But I know it's going to be at least 3 days after MagFest before I'm coherent again.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to spend the entire weekend awake and heavily drunk.
Okay, let's think about how to explain this. It took me a while to figure out how to explain that last bit there because I was just like distracted and tired, and so this might take
Yeah,
a
it looks
second.
like most people
So-
are fine with us ending and doing another one.
Yeah, so I propose that since we've already said, if you can maybe quickly write up your explanation so that people can see it, then we'll
We can
just
call it with that.
call it after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So am I whiteboarding in front of the internet now?
Yes?
You can
Sure.
whiteboard off to the side or in front of the internet if you want, I guess.
Can you see me over here?
No,
No.
not at all.
Okay. Let me think for a second, because some of this is sometimes just me staring off into space, and that's not exciting.
That's fine.
Okay.
I shouldn't have erased all that.
I have a picture.
Can you give me the picture?
Yeah.
It'll make some of this easier.
Do you have get your laptop and just plug in the SD card?
I have an SD card spot on this laptop.
That's okay. I have an SD adapter.
A SD to what adapter?
USB.
Okay.
Do you have the thing or not?
Which thing?
The thing.
No.
You do not have a reader.
No. Unless it's hiding, which it
what do you
sometimes
need?
does.
Uh,
Oh wait.
My,
Aha!
Okay.
Found it.
that's what I was
Crisis
gonna say,
averted.
yeah. Mine has the slot right there, so.
Hiding.
Okay. I'm gonna upload Paul's test. Start at one position, then scroll,
I mean, so the bottom line is...
Sorry, somebody's making terrible jokes.
well, Paul, remember I was not the first person to do this. And on top of that, Nyrol was definitely, I guess as far as anybody from the community, I would have to give him the biggest props, because just thanks. If it wasn't for his work early on, then nobody would have gotten anywhere. And I would have just looked at it and been like, well, nobody knows anything, not going to do it. Because I'm willing to work, I just, I'm not willing to be the first. And Paul, I just updated your thing. Anybody else have anything? Anything else that we need to focus on now? I think that's... I don't think there's that much else. Let's see, what is the total length of the live stream? It says... I don't even have a time. So we should totally consider... I guess we should probably cut it now, and then we'll see where we can get after it. And if it makes sense, we will do another brief video.
Good night.
I mean, I guess what we really need at this point is like a chat room or something.
I will set up
You
a
can make a
Discord.
Slack.
I'm going to set up a Discord for us. It's pretty much the same thing.
Oh yeah, but Slack's money, right?
No, not if it's under a certain amount of users and you don't use certain
This
features.
Discord's fine because it also includes voice chat and everything.
Oh,
and you can
yeah.
upload images and all. It's pretty much the same.
I've never used Discord. I've never...
Can you give a next estimate of the next Vive stream before cutting it? What do you mean by an estimate of the next live stream?
Like, when you expect will the next one be? Like, a week
Oh,
from now,
that's
a week
really
from now?
rough. So the problem is the next week is basically preparation for MagFest, and then MagFest is the weekend after this coming one. And as Mindy mentioned, ShmooCon, which I think she's involved with, so there's just no way.
We could stream at MagFest.
We could stream at MagFest. Oh my gosh.
That would be a mess.
It would be amazing.
Charles, we should
Adam
do this.
has the data plan for it. It might work.
No,
Um,
we can
We
just
use the
stream
internet
the
there.
LAN room.
It's
Oh.
not
Oh.
Don't know people. who
Okay,
can help.
there's enough people here who are excited for the prospect
Hell,
of streaming
I'm-
at MagFest that it sounds like we're going to stream 2 weeks from tonight.
Charles, I will get a space in the LAN room set up for us to use the Vive.
Okay. We will try to stream live from MagFest 2 weeks from tonight.
I may be drunk. Just
Uh,
a heads up.
And if
You can
anybody
find
else
the
is at
radios.
MagFest, like if any of you guys can make it out to MagFest, that would be super cool to meet up with some of you guys.
How would we find out if they're at MagFest?
I'm pretty sure they're going to go find us. I hope
Yeah.
you do go find us.
If
How
you
do
see,
they find us?
If you see a
Twitter?
Vive
YouTube?
hanging in the LAN or in the LAN room, like
Just come up and say
Yeah.
hi. It's one of us.
Yeah.
Well, there's
so
some good people who
wait,
watch
you
it
say,
before you.
man, please enjoy MagFest, but streams are pleasant. Oh no, we'll have fun. We'll find some.
Oh yeah. If
MagFest
we're
is 4
streaming at
days.
MagFest, we'll have a blast.
Yeah, MagFest is 4 days. I'm sure one night of streaming is
The-
not going
well, the stream may end up going on tour somewhere else too. It may not stick just to the Vive at that point.
Oh, and
Wow, I
MagFest almost
couldn't-
certainly.
Yeah. We may end up switching to streaming from a phone and just walking around.
I kind of want to stay more on task than that. Maybe we could do for part of it or something.
Oh, hey, Mindy. This is something that you might find useful. The Alphabet just posted this here.
Alphabet?
That's
Like,
a guy's name.
oh, okay. I was like
the metaphysical
alphabet?
concept.
Hey, Packer, I could not see the space. I had no idea.
Like
I thought,
alphabet? Yeah.
No,
Oh.
his name is Alphabet.
Sorry, I thought it was going to be
Yeah,
like...
They can't type URLs
Google
because it'll
or
censor it
something.
automatically.
Oh no, nothing to do with Google.
The circle is the Vive. The headset? The 4 dots are the sensors that are tracked. These sensors have known distances from each other, yes. That's the beginning of my talk, yes. This is a simplified straight-on view. Yep, tracked sensors are farther apart, yes. Vive's closer on this.
Okay.
Vive is the same distance. Yeah,
I see how
I
it's
didn't draw
showing it.
pictures. These are good pictures. This is exactly what's happening. In this, the Vive is the same distance, but since the top sensors are closer, they do know that the Vive is looking up. Yeah, so rotation. Yeah. Cool. Pictures are good. Those are good
Okay.
pictures.
Rob Butworth also makes the good suggestion to post the Discord once it's up in the GitHub page.
Give me just a moment. I'm making it right now.
Okay, so
We'll post
yeah,
the
if you
Discord
guys are up
before we go
for
here.
working on this in Discord and on the GitHub issues and all, and it does sound like it makes sense to experiment with parallel paths, I would be totally up for something that does not determine locations of lighthouses, provided. I mean, I care a great deal about. I think I care about absolute positions a great deal, but we will have to see. Okay. Yes. Actually, how long will the Discord take? We could probably just leave the stream
I
running
just
until-
created it right now. Give me a second to send you an invite link.
Okay, can you also, do you mind, I think you can just do a pull request on GitHub and then it'll just, I can just accept that. So post the link in here first, then do a pull request. Or actually, no, you don't even have to. I'll do the commit. Okay. No, we've been streaming for 3 hours now.
That's not too bad.
That is 3, right?
Yeah, because we definitely been streaming for longer than 2.
Okay, we're going to be taking this offline momentarily, but I will have the thing added, and you guys can hop into the Discord.
There's already a bunch of people entering the Discord.
Okay.
I've got 7 people other than myself are already in here. But basically, the goal of the Discord is I'm going to set up different channels for different topics so that we can keep discussions centered around a specific topic in each area.
Oh my gosh, it is Christmas Eve.
Yes, it is.
Christmas Eve.
Good night, Paul.
Actually, yeah, I really need to get out of here soon too. I'm supposed to go somewhere at like
Yeah.
9 in the morning, and this is going to suck.
Meeting girlfriend's family tomorrow for Christmas Eve stuff. So I should
Supposed to meet my aunt in the morning.
Oh my gosh, people are already. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah,
Hey, Mobius, real quick, Mobius, what's your name in the chat? I know your GitHub name, but I don't know anything beyond that.
I'm Mellows.
Mobius Horizons, that is.
Oh, crap. Sorry, I can't hear you if you're in the voice chat on here. I just haven't set up the voice chat on here, so it was on voice activate.
Oh, hi. Okay, I put 2 and 2 together now. Thanks, Paul. You were really helpful when we were doing the Ben decoding thing. That was really good. Okay, I think it's time we take it offline. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. It was really great hanging out. I know we didn't get anything done that we were going to get done. I'm hoping that over the next 2 weeks we get more development done. But we'll just have to see what all happens.